What's going on, motherfuckers? Welcome to the Crocs and Out Pockets podcast. My name is Snackers, and today is some sort of September 6th, 2020, and this is episode number 128. Tonight on the show, we have, as usual, Mr. BishopGP, MiddleAgedStream, and our special guest tonight is MomGamesHard. Mom, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. What's going on, Nick?
It's good to see you. Thank you for being on the show. It's awesome to have you here.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Hell yeah. And BishopGP, what's good with you?
Just hanging out, man. Welcome. You know, we're doing another weekend. I'm excited. We have a new guest as well, Jimmy with sunglasses. So that's a new thing.
I'm sorry, don't you mean lead actor from Chips?
Yes,
It's
that
funny.
is also.
That's where I knew it from. I was trying to place it.
Bishop was saying he looked like a guy that's like yeah,
this is a military dude on a vacation. Like he's ready to go to the pool somewhere in like San Diego.
It really, if you see my hair, it really completes.
Yeah, it's a complete look. This is
100%.
It completes the ensemble.
Just like Bishop's forehead blends in with his walls, your hairline disappears into the dark background.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's just my monitor, but like it's all dark.
No, it's
here.
gone. Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah. You don't know where my hair ends and where it begins.
You're lucky. Not all of us have
Mystery.
mystery hairline.
None of us have that ability.
Yes.
Well, how you doing today, Jimmy?
Superman. Thanks for asking.
Was I the first person to call you Jimbles, or is that a nickname that you've had for a while?
You're probably the first. You honestly maybe one of the first people on Twitch to call me that before I started using it. So I've had that when I was younger, but not on the platform. So
Okay.
yeah, I think you can take credit. I'll give you
Trailblazer.
Thank you.
Good job.
I am a professional at giving people nicknames that do not stick. So to see you sort of adopt the Jimbles name made me feel really good. I'm like 0 for 79 at this point.
I think that's all I call Jimmy is
This
Jimbles.
Jimbles.
Yeah, it just feels right.
I call him old guy.
I don't know.
Boomer.
That works too.
That you,
Old for cutting
Hey.
up.
Battletoads trash player.
Whoa, hey.
Crap, boomer.
You shut your damn mouth, sir.
I feel intimidated with the sunglasses. I feel like I'm getting yelled at by a cop
That's
right
too
now.
much.
You really do look like a fucking off-duty police officer. Like with that shirt,
Yeah.
completes it.
I like
Oh, man.
I like birds. Have you noticed I have a collection of shirts that have birds on them?
I
Yeah.
like a bird.
I like a bird.
I like the
All right, Mom, if you were to come up with a noise, like a bird or bat noise for yourself, and this is going to be like your bird noise forever, what would it be? All right, so you're going to do that over and over and over
Like,
for the next
like
5 seconds, okay? Okay, go. Nice, dude.
Now,
Good
bird
night,
gang.
guys.
Throw up your bird gang sign.
Oh, that's good.
Now you're officially part of the podcast because when we do bird calls together, that's when you know it's
Right.
real.
Yeah.
That's when you know it's real.
We all need bird
We're
shirts.
starting a gang, basically.
gang, bird gang.
Gang. Bird gang. Copyright incoming.
So today's Sunday. It is also a holiday weekend. So as we go through our whatever we are sipping on tonight, I would love to hear what you guys did with your weekend. If you want to go into a little bit of what kind of games that you've been playing recently, what kind of games you've been streaming lately. So, Mom, we're gonna put you on the spot right fucking now. How was your weekend?
Okay.
What kind of games did you get into? How's life?
Okay, so the weekend has been pretty uneventful. Like we were talking about before, this weekend was Dad GamesHard's birthday on Friday, and he had been traveling all week, so he really just wanted to stay home and do absolutely nothing. So that's kind of what we've been doing, just chilling as a family, cooking, getting housework done.
Which cooking? What you cooking?
Oh, last night I made chicken tacos.
Nice.
Really, really delicious. Today I was lazy. I just got the kids a pizza.
Still good.
But I don't know. I'm hoping to do some grilling tomorrow. I got some cilantro lime chicken pre-marinated to cook and stuff. So if I can get Dad GamesHard to get the grill going, because it's only been all summer and we haven't gotten the grill going, that would be really awesome. What else do I got to share?
Games, yeah.
I'm
What
playing?
kind of games have you been getting into?
Okay. So I mostly stream The Sims, and so I've been doing that a lot on stream and like turning them into the dirty reality television shows that I love and enjoy. And but off stream today, I was like really getting into RimWorld. I did stream it before, but it's kind of nice just to play on your own and just be able to fully focus on it. Also, Stardew Valley, I've been getting into again. I'm trying to do like a Joja playthrough. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it.
I'm not.
Okay, so the Joja playthrough, Joja's basically like the Walmart of Stardew Valley. And so basically everyone in Pelican Town is going to hate me because I'm going to be doing the Joja playthrough and, you know, siding with the big corporation. But I've already done the good playthrough. I want to do the evil one. I want to be bad.
Nice. Disney would be really mad right now. They've made plenty of movies to sway you from doing that.
I know. It just hasn't worked, though. It hasn't worked.
Yeah, it hasn't worked.
So,
not inspired.
Somebody told me recently that they were remaking Stardew on a new engine. Can anybody confirm or deny?
I don't know. That's too computery for me. I have no idea.
Fair enough. All right, to cap it all off, what are you drinking tonight?
Oh, okay. I got, as a fellow Michigander, you might appreciate this, from Sheboygan Brewing Company, Blood Orange
Yes!
Honey Ale. This stuff is the bomb. I got it at the Kroger's. You got it at the Kroger's yesterday.
People don't know about the Kroger.
And, yeah. No, it's the Kroger's. You got to add that S on the end.
Oh my God. You are correct, and I never say Kroger's.
You never say
I
it?
never say Kroger's with an S ever.
Were you born here?
Yeah.
What
I have
the
no
fuck?
idea. Like, yeah, even like
We'll
thinking,
take your Michigander card.
oh my God, you just kind of blew my mind.
But don't you notice that everybody does that? They say the Kroger's, the Myers. So I don't say it as much as some people may think I do. It kind of got to be a joke on my stream, and now I kind of play it up on there. But yeah, no, it's the Kroger's, the Myers, the Farmer Jack's. I don't remember Farmer Jack's back in the
Absolutely.
day. Yep.
I bet if I was to text both my mom and my dad and say, hey, what is the grocery store that is down the block? They would both say Kroger with no S, like guaranteed. Yeah. I'm fucked up.
You are fucked up. Are they from here? Were they born here?
Both of them, their entire lives.
Psh.
I have nothing to defend myself for this right now.
So is this is like a throwback thing? Because they call it Kroger now, right? Like it's just called Kroger now.
Well, it's
Not
always
Kroger.
been Kroger,
Right.
but as Michiganders, we always like add the S onto things. So like Meyer, we call Myers. Kroger, we call Kroger's. I don't know. It's just some weird thing we do. Like, ooh,
It's like there's
ooh.
one person named Kroger that owns it. It's like, yeah, it's his place.
Yeah, I think it's Barney Kroger.
Okay.
I think his name's Barney Kroger.
We have
It's just Kroger's place.
We have to test something. Okay, so if a PC is a type of platform, what is the type of what's the name of the platform that you play with a controller?
Is this question
a console?
She says console, just like I
No,
do.
she says
No, she
console.
didn't.
No, console.
No.
She said
Don't try to
console.
throw her underneath the bus.
No,
here.
Council
Don't
is
do
like,
that.
I need council.
No.
You were
Order
by
in the
yourself
court,
on this
council.
island.
No.
This island, man.
Chat.
Yeah, you're.
Student council. It's console.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're wrong, Knackers.
Maybe my
Yeah,
ear
you're
is
wrong.
just trained. It's trained.
Get out of town.
Enjoy your time on the island by yourself alone, because no one is getting
Oh,
dragged
what a
under with you.
Knackers on. Do you guys know Jimbles was just on Sims Island?
I actually watched the VOD. I was doing a little deep dive.
Did he die?
And I saw Jimmy. He has a nice little arm tattoo in the game. That's nice.
Well, I have
Yep,
arm
detail.
tattoos IRL.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But you couldn't. I
that's-
have to keep
what
a
I'm
shirt
saying
on.
is
I don't want to get the ban yet.
The detail is there. Even like
We might have to get a Knackers and a Bishop on there sometime.
I'm down. You know what? At least
Just
if
be
I'm
the-
on an island by myself, I'm only on an island with people who enjoy my company.
Can I be a cannibal on the island and like a super survival guy? Is that allowed?
They haven't made that. They haven't made that.
Okay, I'll
expansion
call it
yet.
EA. Okay. Cannibal. Sims Cannibal Edition.
Sims Cannibals. Actually, you know what? I bet you there's a mod for
probably-
it. There's
Yeah,
like
probably. Yeah.
so many horrible
Oof,
Sims
yeah,
mods
yeah,
out
yeah.
there.
I've seen
That's
a
a whole
few.
other podcast.
Yeah.
Bishy, what you been up to this weekend?
I can't remember what I did yesterday, to be completely honest. Today is Ruby, the dog's birthday, so we went to the park and did Casey made her little peanut butter cake, and she ate that. And I was
Aw.
kind of jealous. I was like, this actually smells pretty good. Yesterday, I think we just hung out and played games. I could be wrong. Casey could correct me in like 10 minutes. But yeah, I think we've just been hanging out and chilling. And that's really it.
Okay. What are you drinking?
I am drinking Pusser's rum, pineapple juice, cream of the coconut, with orange juice, grated nutmeg, muddled mint, and it is called a painkiller. And here it is, right here. There's no note for you. Oh wait, no, there's an arrow. Oh, flip it over.
There's an arrow.
Elliot talks about smooching, knackers, and Jimmy in his sleep. Oh, interesting. Okay.
I believe that.
What's muddled mint?
I think it's mint that has been muddled. But I'm actually not entirely sure what muddled
Yeah,
means.
Like, are you muddling
mortar
with
and
its
pestle
life?
style. It's
Yeah,
like smashing it up.
maybe?
Oh.
I don't know what muddled
It's a
means.
mint
My
leaf that's
vocabulary
thrown in mud and then.
Are you
back
trying
into
to
the
tell
container.
me that muddled mint is mint that's been muddled? Is that? I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so. Technically speaking, I think mint that's
Gosh,
muddled.
I'm really
is
glad you're
considered
here to
muddled,
clear that
yeah.
up. Thank you.
No,
so much.
absolutely. I'm a wealth of knowledge.
If you were to make the sound effect of the act of muddling, what would you come up with?
Are you asking me this?
Yes. Oh, no, I'm asking Mom, who just talked about a muddled fucking cocktail.
True. From looking at the picture, I would say it's like that sound, like.
Well,
You know,
we're not
It's
getting
not
anything.
picking it up.
Noise
It's not
gate.
picking.
It's
You
not
gotta
picking
be
it up.
You're not
louder.
getting
You gotta be
anything?
louder.
Oh, I literally can't do that any louder.
No, please.
Like that. I feel like that's the sound. That's the only sound I can. I think the hand motion and the sound is going to be taken.
Can we get it one more time?
heavily out of
Can you
context.
try it one more time? I want the mic just
Hey,
to pick
let's
it up.
do it
One more
together.
time.
One more,
Okay.
please.
Let's do it together.
One more time.
Wait.
One more time.
Oh, I think that the
Come on.
additive of sound is actually good there.
That was good. I
Yeah.
like that. Mr. Grateful
Yeah.
Lady. Well,
Yeah.
so the drink sounds
That's it.
fantastic. Is it, can you hold it up again? Is it more like milky than?
Yeah, it's like-
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like a little pina colada little deal. Hold on, I don't know if that's focused. There we go. So it's got like little muddled mints in there. You can see those. What is
Wow,
this
that's
little red thing?
very
There's
muddled.
like a red thing in here. Oh wait,
Very
where is
muddled.
that?
It's
How do I
so
get that
muddled,
out?
dude.
Is that a
Oh, what is
cherry?
that? I think it might be. Is there cherries inside?
Read your note.
She didn't put that.
It's
not
the
on the
secret
note.
ingredient. See, that's
It's
the,
secret.
It's a rogue cherry.
That's
What
the,
is it? And
That's
what should be a
the splash
tomato?
of love right there. That's the little
That'd
splash.
be a sweetest fish.
It's got to be cherry.
It is.
Oh, it's a
Sure.
cherry. It's a cherry.
Splash
Yeah.
of love.
You ding dong. I love calling people ding dongs. Jimmy, the fuck is up with you, man? How's your weekend?
Weekend's good. I didn't realize how tired I was until today. And yesterday too. Just going back to work has drained me a little bit. Not in a way that I'm totally wiped or exhausted. It's just I haven't been used to teaching in person. But since the last podcast, I've been back teaching in person. I'm really lucky that my schedule I have as a teacher is about as good as I could hope for. Because we're on an alternating block schedule. And so basically that means I have 7 classes. One I see every day, but they're online, so whatever, right? And then on one day I see 2 classes in person and have 1 online, and then the next day I have 2 classes online and 1 in person. And it's great because the online classes, I pre-record my stuff and lectures and make it super easy, so I don't have to. I only meet them once a week. You know, if they're all completely remote, I meet as a class. Everything else I just record, and if they need to reach out to me, shoot me an email and I'll Zoom call them or whatever. But and then my in-class has been good, and my kids have been really good about wearing their masks in class. I haven't had to correct them too much, and they want to be there. I feel for some of those kids because I noticed it in the first couple of days, and this is like the human side to COVID stuff too. Parents are made with a tough choice, and I know, Mom, you've been struggling with this too. Parents are left with an impossible choice of trying to keep your kids safe and then leaving home, but also at the same time not wanting your kids to fall back behind because of what they're missing out on being in socialization with their friends and in-person learning. It's 2 very difficult choices that parents have to make, and I know that there's some of the kids at school that they look a little scared. But by the end of this last week, I feel like a lot of my kids are starting to, my students are starting to kind of open up a little bit, and you can see that some of them are feeling better, and it's good. I think getting a sense of normalcy again for after all this craziness that's been going on is kind of nice, but it did make me tired, and I took like 3 naps this weekend.
Hell yeah. I have a question
other than that,
for both of
go
you,
ahead.
since you're both parents. Wait,
hold on. I'm actually a dog mom, so I'd like to be included in this.
All right,
go ahead.
Fair enough.
And also from now on,
Does
if you're
Ruby
gonna
go to
say
school?
Mom,
Does Ruby go to school?
Yeah, we
okay.
teach her a lot of
Doggy
things. Yeah.
school.
Okay.
Yeah, she does like these tricks for treats and stuff. She's like insanely smart.
What did you do for her birthday that you did all by yourself without any assistance or teamwork from Casey?
Snuggles. Okay, so this is a big commitment during my day, like 1 to 2 hours a day. Spooning. Ruby rolls
I
up.
haven't snuggled my own kids that much.
Yeah, I mean this is a big commitment on my time.
All right,
so
fair.
yeah.
There's a lot of times where you have the extremist side of COVID parents who are like, I have to send my kid back to school or they're going to be scarred for life. Like, I have to get them back into normal life or else they're going to get set back. Things are never going to be the same. Are you that extreme in your thinking? Because in my mind, when I hear parents say something like, they have to go back to school, this is way too radical of a time, like we need to get them into normal. It's like, okay, well, this isn't the first time some type of world event has derailed a country or derailed the world. I'm sure kids are going to be fine. Again, this is coming from a non-parent who understands nothing about loving anything else more than, you love yourself. So what's your stance on that? Do you feel like, yeah, it kind of sucks, but we all have to push through this and do our own thing to try and get to the end game,
That's kind of where I'm at. Like, I feel like the kids, they're going to be okay. They're going to be okay. Kids in the past, I feel like, have been through a lot worse circumstances. And I don't know. I feel like, I guess the kids it's kind of like cushy for them. They're home. They have their electronics. They can like connect with their friends. But that way. But I mean, back in the olden days, they'd like, just go out and I don't know what they do back then, like take a stick with like a little wheel or something and like like hit it around or something.
Drugs.
They didn't have medicine. I'm not that extremist parent, but I understand that like, some kids, like my kids are generally healthy. My oldest does have asthma. It's exercise induced, or sometimes when she gets sick, it's never been severe. She's never had to be like hospitalized for it. So, I mean, it just really depends on the child too. So I feel like my kids, they're going to be okay, but I guess every parent has to make that decision for themselves.
For sure.
How about you, Jimmy? Is that your answer?
I mean, I think it's all contingent on the situation, obviously. I mean, every situation across the world is different based off of my issue that I've had with down here is that according to what the scientists are saying, we shouldn't have opened our schools up just yet. And the reality of the situation is we're only been in 2 weeks. This is a holiday weekend. What I'm worried about is what's going to happen in 2 more weeks. That's my concern. And I hope that everyone does. I mean, we've done a great job as a teaching staff, and I know it's like this at a lot of schools. They've done the best they can to keep kids safe and to do the things they need to keep people safe. But we have absolutely zero control what those kids and their families do outside of school. And I know that there's some teachers even that don't take this thing seriously. So people are going to get together. They're going to have barbecues. They're going to do whatever on the holidays. And then, because it's like, this is considered this weekend in the States, it's like the last big holiday, it's like the last big summer weekend, right? Right. And so that's what worries me. But I mean, I can only focus on things I can control. And that's, every time I start going down that path, I'm like, hey, just focus on what you can focus on. And that's it.
You had any confirmed cases at the school yet? You have? Okay. Yeah, we've had one of the schools that I work at with about 400 kids. There was 2 confirmed cases within the first week. Oh
yeah, we've already. There's going to be a lot more popping up soon. I have a feeling.
I I try not to be too cynical. Again, not a parent, don't have that firm of an understanding, but my brain goes to like, these kids have to go back to college. What is this lack of experience gonna do? I'm like, how about getting drafted? How about getting fucking drafted for a world war? What do you fucking think that did to that kid? So I understand. Crazy fucking times, and I know that a lot of their worries stem from a lot of different places, like who's staying home with the kid, right? Because it's who has to be home with the child, and if you're not having them doing web conferencing, are you homeschooling now? And now that's a lot of extra burden. So I understand it, and I don't want to fault anybody for being up in arms about having to go back to school or not having. This is
the hardest decision I've ever had to make. That's for sure.
I bet.
That's for sure.
I bet.
It's nuts.
Jimmy, what are you drinking? And then I'll go into what I was drinking.
So I made a special trip to get some booze today, and I got my favorite brewery in Texas just released some new beers. This is called Grisette. It's from Jester King Brewery. Would you like me to read the bottle?
Oh, yes, I would. Jester King all day.
This one. Oh, actually,
Wait,
know what?
hold on. You have to be a cinematic voice, like it's a movie trailer, or else you're not
in
reading
a
this.
world.
In a
Look,
world.
I'm just gonna post it in chat. Actually,
Okay.
this is the beer I'm drinking.
Well, you have to read something now.
Oh,
I'm not reading chat.
Yeah, you have to read
oh, see, I forgot.
Cinematic.
Okay, it's no. It just tells about Jester King. So it's a sour ale fermented with raspberries. And
This is not very cinematic, Jimmy. This is my one demand. I just want to hear in a world where
hold it up pretty.
World.
If you do hold it up pretty, I got you, Jimmy. We're pleased to release a new beer today we're simply calling Raspberry Grisette. It's a fairly low alcohol beer, 4.7 ABV, brewed with barley, wheat, and oats with a fairly low amount of hops, which we then re-fermented in stainless steel raspberries. Like all our beer, we let it ferment to complete dryness. Raspberry Grisette is a simple, highly drinkable, effervescent beer that's mildly fruit-forward, and a good companion for the Texas summer.
Oh, yeah.
That was wonderful. Yeah, goddamn. By the way, effervescent is a fucking word that I've never seen before in my life, and I read it first.
You've never heard?
You breaded it?
Never. I've probably heard it, but
like efferdent?
Mm-mm.
I don't know. It's like
Evanescence was a great band. Yeah,
they were
You've
good.
Never heard
They
of
were
that
good.
word?
Did you listen to them?
Never.
Her?
Wait, was it just her and featuring touring band, or was it actually a band?
It was a band.
Like, you know how there's like bands that are actually
Like
just a
her
lead
name
singer?
wasn't Evanescence. That was the band's name.
Okay.
Oh,
It's like a girl with a bunch of dudes.
Yeah,
Right?
Evanescence was the name of the band.
Evanescence.
Are you even? First of all, you don't say Kroger's with an S, so I'm starting to wonder if you're like an alien.
Remember my childhood. That's all I'm
You
ever
don't
going
know.
to say.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Okay, forget what I said.
Essential oils all over.
I grew up
forget-
with Kingdom Melodies of the Jehovah's Witnesses, okay? We didn't have these fucking Beatles and REO Speed.
Who did you guys listen
truck.
to? Who was like the Elvis of the Jehovah's Witness?
I would say, oh my God, his name is escaping me. We were born before the wind. Not so thin before the sun. Come on, guys!
Does he do the hands like that? I need to know because they're throwing me if he doesn't.
Yeah. Can we hide the hands if he's not doing hands? 'Cause
Somebody-
Is
we're
that
really
something?
throwing
Is
stuff
that something you do, or is that something the music artist?
Van Morrison. Douchebaggins got it. You're all fired. Douchebaggins is
Wait a
not
minute.
full time.
here? Van Morrison.
I just want to make the distinction
Douche.
that with every single. Hey, what happened to not reading chat? Wow, that was a straight up lie.
I didn't read it. Knackers
I
just
just said, I
douchebaggins.
said douchebaggins.
Oh, okay, forget what I said.
Damn, this guy was sick as fuck. Wait, are you sure?
Yeah, the song is called
Dude, this guy's legit, man.
You
You don't know who Van Morrison is?
No, man. Is he EDM?
Okay.
Oh my!
You really don't know
What
how-
is this, like EDM? Is this Swedish House Mafia? That's a
Jimbles, I
throwback.
think we need to get our walkers and like get out of here.
We might
man.
have to. We might have to.
I'm
Oh no, I know him.
not
Yeah, I'm
knowing
listening
the
to
song is killing
Brown
me
Eyed
right
Girl.
now.
Mm.
Okay, Zoomer.
Brown Eyed
Mhm.
Girl. Yeah, that's a great song. I actually know this song.
So anyway, Knackers, what were you drinking?
I am drinking Into the Mystic is the fucking song name. Thank God. But no, there was a lot of, I wasn't necessarily sheltered as much with music. It was a lot easier to get away with listening to naughty music than it is watching a bad TV show, because they blocked every channel under the sun, right?
What was naughty music for when you, like Debbie Gibson, was that naughty music when you were a kid?
No, I like Blink-182, Limp Bizkit, like anything that cursed, anything that talked about sex, anything naughty.
Yeah,
This
naughty
music's
music.
good though.
So what was on your regular playlist if you couldn't listen to that? Would you listen to like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood albums, or like
Some Raffi.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
It's funny you say that, because the first album that I ever bought was Eagle Eye Cherry. Anybody ever remember that band?
Save the
Yes!
night
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
till the break of dawn. Oh my
So
god.
that-
Yeah, tomorrow,
Great song.
I'll be gone.
Step tonight. So that was the first album I was ever gifted by my parents. And then the first two albums I ever bought, which were allowed, was AC/DC's Back in Black and Foreigner's Greatest Hits. And so ever since then, I kind of grew up with like that sort of rock era. And then I transitioned into screamo and emo and alternative rock. But yeah, I got away with listening to a lot of music, so it wasn't as big of a.
And now you're a juggalo.
And now I'm a big fat juggalo. Gotta love it. I am drinking. I'm still going. I went back to the store and I got 2 more 4-packs of the Prairie.
Is that the cute
Rainbow
one?
I
sherbet.
just bought a pack of that today too. It's in my fridge.
This is one of the best sours that I've ever had, like hands down. I didn't think there was a thing as too sour when it came to beers, but there definitely is too sour, and this is just right in the fucking middle. It's fruity, it's light, it's sour, and I love the design. I'm a big fan of like pastel colors, so this can just kind of gets me off.
Have you ever had Flamingo Fruit Fight by Bell's?
I have not.
Oh, it's so good, but it only comes out in like, I think June it comes out.
Okay.
I
Flamingo
like the label.
Fruit Fight, Passion Fruit, and Lime Tart Ale. What a name.
Yeah, it's delicious. It looks crazy, but it's delicious.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out for it. I'm always down for more of that stuff.
Disclaimer: I have had a Google Doc or a Google opened, and I'm searching pretty much every other word you guys are saying. Little out of my scope, but I'm listening now to some good music. Some good music going. I feel like this is like a history class, so I'm actually happy that Jimmy's here. This is great.
Hey, I do what I can, man. I seriously though, you didn't know Van Morrison though.
No, I know his music now that I'm listening to it.
Oh, okay.
Love this music, but didn't
Recognize
don't know
the
his
artist's name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Just the art, you know.
That's fair. Jimmy, what video games have you been getting into? And then we're gonna jump into some hot topics.
I have been playing for the last week. I've been playing Castlevania. The first one on NES, which I'm almost to the end of it. I think I probably got a few more streams of it. Probably, probably a couple more streams. I'm hoping to finish it this week if I can. And then the week before that, I did a few one-offs. I played Celeste, which was actually pretty fun. I guess I should not have tried to play that game hammered drunk like I did the first time, which is why I rage quit after 30 minutes. So that was cool. I may come try playing that again later. And then I played a stream of Observer, which was a really interesting game. They made some very interesting story choices in the way that game is. I didn't even realize going into it, it's by the same people that made that Layers of Fear game.
Yeah.
And it was funny because when I was playing through it, I just kept thinking, man, this kind of reminds me of the same vibe Layers of Fear gave me, just a different setting. And then sure enough, it might have even been Hellhound in chat that said, actually, that was made by the same people. I was like, holy shit, I didn't even know. But
I love that game, by the way. Layers of Fear.
Yeah, Layers of Fear, I thought was a really creepy game that was pretty good. Like it's psychological horror, It's not as much on the jump scare. Same with this game. It's more psychological horror than jump scare horror, but it's still, to me at least, kind of a scary thing. And then off stream, I played a little bit of Fall Guys. Just not a whole lot more. I played some today, and I played maybe a little yesterday too, just off stream. And then I've been playing Battletoads, the new one, with my son and my father-in-law, because you can play it 3-person co-op, couch co-op. So yesterday we all sat in the living room and we played Battletoads for like an hour. And it was fun. It was a good time. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing.
It's only 3-person co-op, not 4?
Yeah, 3. Well, there's only 3
Look at
Battletoads.
that number.
There's only 3 Battletoads.
Oh, so I don't know any
Leonardo
Battletoads.
da Vinci.
You have Rash, Pimple, and Zitz are the 3 Battletoad names.
Those are really their names?
What about Leonardo, the other turtle?
That's a Ninja Turtle,
Oh. Okay.
which I know you son of.
I'm
I
trying.
think you could beat that game faster though. The Ninja Turtles one.
Mhm.
Sure. It'd take you maybe less than a month.
Yeah,
Full clear.
I'd like to see you beat Battletoads.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is I've been playing a lot of retro games. I don't know if I
retro
can call
to you
them
though,
retro.
dude? What did it come out in 2010?
I mean like N64, right? So
okay.
So I think the standard for retro is over 20 years, and I think that the game that I've been playing, Banjo-Tooie, is like 19 and a half years old.
Yeah, Banjo
So it's not really
came out in the
retro.
end of the 90s or like 2000
Yeah.
or something.
It's a good game though. It's a
Doesn't
good
seem
game.
that long ago.
No.
It just goes like,
Mm-hmm.
What were you guys doing in the 90s? What was going on in the lives of Jimmy? What was happening?
well, I mean, I graduated high school in 99.
Wow.
I graduated in 2000.
Whoa.
I was chasing boys and doing teenage stuff.
Nice.
I was still
Reading
sucking on
Glam
tits.
magazine.
Yeah. Cosmo.
What was the teen teen? I remember my sister used to always get these when she was younger. She got these like,
Bop and Big
yeah, they had
Bopper.
like Jonathan Taylor Thomas and these teen heartthrobs on the OEC. Yeah, I'm speaking your language.
Mhm.
I don't remember the names of the magazines, but she had a bunch of them, and I was, and I was like, that's a little weird.
There was Bop, Big Bopper, Tiger Beat.
So
I think what else
you
there
know a
was.
little something about these magazines.
Oh, I used to tear those pages out, and I had like a collage on my wall of just famous men.
Oh my God. Target market right here on the Crocs and Hot Pockets podcast.
Yo, I had posters of ladies on my wall. True.
You've never had pictures of?
No,
ladies
I
on your
have.
wall?
I have.
No, Knackers and Bishop.
What,
No,
are you
I've never
guys
had
serious?
a poster on my wall ever.
Yo, I
I've
used to
never
have
put
the-
anything on my walls.
Remember my
I had these Budweiser
childhood.
girls on my wall, like swimsuits. Like my mom. Get this. When I was a kid, I'm sorry to cut you off, but this is totally relatable. Like, we moved to Alaska. I was 9 years old. And when we moved into our house and we were unpacking, there was like in my box from my room, there was like a poster in there. And my mom unrolled it because I had like a Jose Canseco poster, like baseball player posters. She unrolled it and it was a freaking like, there were these 2 swimsuit models, like Budweiser poster, like in swimsuits. I'm 9 years old. And she looks
Really?
at me and she goes, Jimmy, is this yours? And I go, no, but can we put it up? So
It's
she
making
put
me
it up.
feel a certain kind of way. This is interesting.
So that
This
hung on
poster
my
is-
door for it was cool.
Yeah, I think Knackers, when he was a kid, he had a few pictures of Van Morrison and then Point of Grace next to each other. And those were his idols back in the day.
I actually don't. I've never been a person to put things up on walls. Just thinking about bedrooms growing up. First of all, anything pop culture, not allowed in Jesus' house. Okay, so there was a lot I was really limited to, but I don't ever really remember. I remember painting my walls. Like I remember painting like a big, the Japan flag where it's like a sun with like a bunch of rays.
the Japan imperialist flag.
That one,
Yeah,
yep.
imperialist
The World War
racist
II
flag.
flag.
Yeah.
So shocker, I painted a purple imperialist flag on my bedroom wall.
A what flag?
Imperialist? I stumbled my words a little bit. Just leave me alone.
That would be
Hey, stop bullying my best friend, Jimmy.
imperialist. Try again.
Imperialist.
Muddled
Oh,
mint.
jeez.
Muddled manipulative.
Continue. Go on.
I can't really think of anything that I used to. It wasn't until I got into streaming and I had to, big pickup truck analogy where I needed to make my personality more exciting than it actually is. So I started putting things up on the walls and lights and colors and all that stuff.
Is that how you would describe
Like
that shirt you're wearing?
my basic brown personality. I have my basic
Vanilla. brown.
But
I'm
that's,
such a
you got a green
Karen.
screen though,
So
I mean, it doesn't
vanilla.
matter what's behind you. I mean, that's
I know, yeah.
Can you tell us
The
the
green screen.
the story about
Huh.
the flamingo you got behind you?
That's a goose. That is Goosh the goose, and he is the stream mascot.
Oh,
He was sent to me by the community when I was playing the Untitled Goose game.
oh,
game.
okay.
So he comes and hangs out, back there when I'm streaming.
Nice. Does he ever mess with you? Like try to pull your pant legs or something?
Sometimes, just once
Okay,
in a while.
gotcha. Yeah, that was a good game.
was a
Oh,
good game.
so good. I cried at the end. I got so emotional. I don't know
Really?
why. I just, yeah.
I don't know anything about the
Well,
goose
I don't
game.
wanna Spoil it for
What happens
anybody,
at the
but-
end? Does he get like run over by a car? or
No,
something, or-
no, this is not the
No,
Crocs
it
and
was
Not
a happy-
Spoilers podcast.
This game's
dude.
been
Are
out for
you-
years, man. Come on.
It came out earlier this year, you big idiot.
It only
What? No, it didn't.
I spoiled
It did.
one game for
I won't
somebody.
say anything.
Yeah,
Right?
I
Didn't
spoiled.
it come
I won't
out?
say anything.
Wait, was it last year?
It was happy, and I was just emotional. Well, I think it came out on
Last year.
Epic at the end of last
Yeah.
year, and then it came out on Steam at the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that Darth Vader was Luke's dad?
Oh my god, Bishop.
You guys know that?
Jesus Christ. Now that's a different story, but we all know, like, when you think about video games and how
Sorry,
long
Jeff.
your list is, right? And how long it takes you to get to certain games, I never want to be the podcast that accidentally spoils something for somebody.
True. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, obviously
The goose
Bishop
probably
feels the
dies at the
exact
end,
same
'cause she
way.
was
And I
Wow.
don't want to
Sad.
be that guest.
No, he feels the exact same way. Okay, before we get into the topics, I have one quick story to tell. Can I tell it?
It's
Let's
only
take a
mildly
vote.
Funny.
Yeah. If it's how funny,
it's
is
mildly
it gonna be?
funny. It's somewhere between mildly funny and moderately funny.
I don't know. I really want to talk about Nvidia's new graphics card. I don't know.
Your wish has been
Sorry,
granted, Jimmy.
Okay,
We'll allow
thank you.
it.
I'll be quick. So today, my wife, ever since this whole COVID thing started, she's been cutting my hair. Right, as you guys can see, I get
It's beautiful.
I get one of these, a one all the way around, like every 3 weeks. So I told her, because she was like, I can style your hair, because I usually would get a fade and whatever. I was like, honey, I don't want you to have to worry about messing up my hair or whatever. Just cut it off, no big deal. So a couple weeks ago, she says to me, hey, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos on how to cut hair, so
Aw.
I want to really be able to give you a haircut. I said, can we let it? I said, cool, babe. We'll let it grow out a little longer, and then when I get my haircut, So today I'm sitting there and she's cutting my hair, and I can tell, like, I can just feel on the side, like, the fade just keeps getting higher and higher and higher because she's trying to make it level. And then she goes, okay, I think I'm done. And she kind of gives me a look like she's looking at me like, you're probably not going to like this. And I go and I get up and I go to the mirror in the bathroom, and I look like a fucking, oh my God. I wish I have an emote for it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find
An
the
egg,
emote.
human egg.
Wait,
Hey now.
here we go. Here we go. I look like this. Look like that. For
Wow.
those of you that are listening at home, I showed a mushroom emote. It looked like a mushroom.
Oh no.
Could you take the headset off and show us? Could you show us, Jimmy?
It looked like
Mushroom or penis?
like just the way it just was like, it wasn't faded in at all. I was just like, honey, it's fine. And she, I could tell she was maybe getting upset. I reassured her that I knew that she's not a barber, and I appreciated that she
super
was.
nice.
It was super sweet that she was trying to learn, but it was so bad. I wish
no.
I'd
There's a
taken a
reason
picture
that
of my fucked
barbers
up hair.
go
Yes,
to go to school and cosmetologists go to
Yes,
school. That's so nice,
absolutely.
You should
And I just thought it was
left it
funny.
for today.
Yeah.
Like, I would have loved to have Oliver Tree on the podcast.
Me and my
Yes, you
fucked up
did.
haircut for the podcast. That would have
That's
been
what my
pretty
haircut
bold.
was in the 90s. I used to have a straight up bowl cut. My hair was blonde at the time when I was a kid, and I used to have the big bowl cut. like a
Naturally
mushroom
blonde?
top. Yeah, naturally blonde when I was a kid.
No, I don't
Yeah,
fucking
crazy,
believe
right?
that for a
I
second.
swear to God, I was blonde when I was
Is
a
this
kid.
naturally brown now?
Yeah. It's just now it just happened. I have no idea.
Wow,
If I'm
that's
in the
crazy.
sun too long, my hair will start to get like light brown.
Bishop's sucking on Sharpies all through grade school.
Yeah. Something happened along the way. Yeah.
Oh my god. All right. So we got a couple topics in here. The games that I've been playing. I did get a little bit of Fall Guys in. And then I also started playing Horizon Zero Dawn, which has been absolutely fantastic. I love that game. Can't wait to keep playing it. We've got the new NVIDIA graphics cards that have come out. And while we're not really going to get into the technical aspect, Jimmy, I know that you had a question that I failed to answer on the last podcast. For anybody unaware, NVIDIA announced a new line of graphics cards, the 3070, the 3080, and the 3090. Based on the graphs that NVIDIA has eloquently favored themselves in, the performance jump is supposed to be insane. The performance per dollar ratio is crazy. They're incredibly cheap. I think the 3070 starts at $400 or $500 and it goes up from there, with the 3080 being $499.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you have 3090, which is pretty much a Titan replacement, which is going to come in around $1,400 to $1,500. Not really meant for streamers.
No.
But really awesome nonetheless. We have not seen a price to a dollar to performance ratio like this in a really, really long time, and they're looking promising. But we still need to wait for them to get into reviewers' hands to get tested and everything. But Jimmy asked a question when when Epos Fox and Ernst were on the podcast last week, and we just kind of got sidetracked in the middle of answering it, and we didn't do a good job. So I wanted to give you another chance to re-answer it, or re-ask it rather, and then.
Why would I want to ask you? I wanted to ask the experts.
It's true. I have nothing to say against that.
Can we just go to the next question?
If you want,
okay.
we can.
No, I think you probably could answer this too. I think you could, but I wanted to hear their commentary on it. So here's my thing. When I have been using NVENC to run my stream for probably the last, pretty much the entire year, probably all of 2020. Mom, do you use NVENC also, or do you use an encoder?
I don't know.
Okay. MomGamesHard sets your stuff up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just the creative side of
I
it.
got you.
Yeah.
What, do you know what your,
the
what's
brain,
your
I'm the
graphics card?
beauty. Oh, I wrote that down because I thought you might ask it.
Oh.
It is a GTX 1060 6GB. I need to upgrade
Bog you.
big time.
Okay.
But Dan
All right.
Games Hard says he's going to get me one of the new ones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
really
this is
excited.
why my question was this. Am I going to see a marked difference in the encoding capability by using one of the newer RTX cards as opposed to my 1080? Now, keep in mind, Mom's situation is different from mine because, as you know, Mom, she plays most everything off her computer, whereas if I'm playing on my computer, it's usually emulation, which is not very taxing on the video card and or the CPU. And most of the rest of the stuff I play is through a capture card. So I guess the base of my question was, if I have a 1080 or someone like Mom who has a 1060, would we see a marked difference using an RTX chip when using NVENC encoding? But I couldn't type all that easily, and it just kind of got swayed. So that was my question.
The only
So if you want to
reason-
highlight this and send this to them and see what they have to say, and then we can find out maybe in the next podcast.
Well, I already know where they both stand on it, so
I'm
I'm do
messing
it.
with you. This
know.
is me fucking with you.
I know. You did a good job because you got me a little bit. So what both of them would say is that if you are on a single PC setup and you have a newer NVIDIA card that has NVENC, you should be using it. There's no reason for you not to be using it. So especially when you get into playing games that are not emulators or that are not consoles, you're going to have your CPU taxed the most. So it's going to really, really benefit you to be able to have all of that extra headroom, because it takes all of the performance that's being eaten up by your CPU is now getting transferred over to your GPU, which has, and for anybody listening, you can push your GPU to 100% and not have any performance issues. You cannot do the same with your CPU. So when people are trying to stream with their CPU and they're hitting 70, 80, 90, and sometimes even 100%, they're having a lot of frame droppage issues because the CPU controls the processing of the entire computer. When you're using your graphics card to stream, you're only using your graphics card for it. And these newer cards like the 1660 Ti and the 2070 and the 2080, they all have dedicated encoders that are meant just for streaming. So you can tap out that part of your graphics card without affecting any of your other graphics card performance. So with emulators, you're not going to see a difference. With capture cards, the encoder is most of the time on the capture card.
It is.
You're not going to see a difference. But if you want to start venturing out into other things, and if you start wanting to stream and record at the same time, because you might get to a point where you want streams, hard copies of, so that you can send them to editors so that they can do things of instead of downloading streams from Twitch. And that is a really awesome way, because even the $270 1660 Ti that I have in my streaming PC, I can stream and record both on the new NVENC, no problem. And it's a $270 card. So
Yeah, that's peanuts.
Yeah.
definitely,
Let me get in there really quick, Knackers.
Let me
break that
put my
down.
sunglasses on.
Yeah, let me break this down for Jimmy, because I think you're getting a little extreme here. So, Jimmy, technically speaking, when something's newer and it's the same price, it's usually better. And this is something that really matters, okay?
Okay.
The new graphics card, the 30 series, is bigger than the old one. So bigger is better.
size.
So what you're trying to tell me is newer is better. Is that what you're telling me?
This is where you're at right now, Jimmy, and this is where you're going to be.
Okay. Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's I hope I'm gonna clip this for my wife real quick and send this to her.
Yeah, Mom obviously understood everything the Knacker said, but I wanted to reiterate that for you, Jimmy, specifically.
Of course.
Yeah,
I'm an expert.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Cool.
I just don't want to make anybody feel bad, you know.
Oh, I mean, I know.
I want to be inclusive to people like Jimmy in chat. So yeah, we're
Good. Thank you.
I didn't know that you were streaming NVENC with an older card, because the older NVENC does not perform that great. So
yeah, it definitely uses a lot more. Well, part of the reason why I had to make the switch is when I made the change to being, ironically, I use way more CPU resources not using a webcam than I did ever when I used a webcam. But that's also not in my regular game screen, but all the special scenes I have in my content.
Oh, yeah.
So it uses a lot of, because I'm loading in it's layered a lot of different files that are being accessed. So
you'll have a lot more headroom to do those things as well, like to layer in.
That's the reason why I was asking.
Yeah,
you know,
your face rig will have like no impact on a 30 series. I don't think.
Right.
Even a 20 series would be a pretty significant step up for you.
Yeah, what I was thinking was there's probably going to be a shortage. I'd be willing to bet if I could find a 2070 for relatively cheap, I may just pull the trigger and get one, you know?
Yeah, the 2070S was just $500. I think I actually just got one for the racing rig. They were only like 500 or 400, but the price probably came down. And that's, I think that from 10 to 20 series, the upgrades really weren't that significant. Like I still have my 1080 Ti in my main work computer. But now from the 20 to 30, it seems way more significant. Like anyone that upgraded from like a 1080 Ti to anything in the first series of the 20 series really didn't seem, it was like marginal upgrades. But I think this next step is actually, it's time. Like if you still have a 10 series, it's time to, like you were able to skip a whole generation of cards and you did it successfully. And now it's like, it's not like it's just like another step. It's taking like 2 or 3 steps now. So
allegedly the 3070 is going to outperform the 2080 Ti. Like that's how big of a
crazy.
Jump. Yeah. And for you, Jimmy, too, another thing to consider for all of your scenes, your graphics card has to render everything that is in your OBS preview. So if you start hitting a point where you're noticing when you're switching the scenes, you're getting stuttering, videos are failing to load, audio's choppy, you're going to benefit from that upgrade as well. Because I assume you're probably using a 1080p canvas, like the default canvas. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could definitely benefit you. So,
Jimmy, do you have an M.2 in your PC or an SSD?
Yeah, I do too.
With your video files, when
can
you're
we
streaming,
use more? Is there any more acronyms, numbers, or nomenclature we can use to confuse
So,
Mom right now?
Yeah. No, she's totally
it's okay.
understands.
It's like I'm an expert. I know all these things.
We're breaking this down
you know.
for you, Jimmy, specifically. But do you, when you're streaming, so if you're not using a camera, or even if you are using a camera, but you're layering your scenes with different video files, what I've noticed through my testing and through just doing events and stuff using OBS is that OBS is like one of the worst video players of all time. But you can actually install VLC has an updated, I think it's the 64 gig or bit version of VLC.
How many
and it
gigas?
actually lets. It's 64 gigs of VLC.
Oh my goodness.
64 gigs?
It's a 64-bit version of VLC. Actually plugs into OBS, and it's a better version of a video player. But you should be using all your video files. They should be stored on an SSD or an M.2, or else
They are.
OBS
All of mine are stored on an M.2 or SSD.
Dab. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Sick. Nice. You're pro.
All right.
I am.
Another wonderful segment of Am I Fucked Up? or are they fucked up? So for anybody,
The answer is yes.
yes,
Next question.
Yes.
very fucked up. So for anybody new to the channel, or new to the podcast, we have this segment that seems to be quite reoccurring called "Am I Fucked Up?" And these are experiences that I encounter in my day-to-day life, and then I bring these experiences to the podcast and I get people's opinions. And chat, I am very much looking for your opinion as well. So if you have something to say on the subject, please at me in chat because I would like to read it. And this is the very few time where I'll be looking at chat. So recently, I was hanging out on the Twitters, doing my tweet thing, and a very popular creator in the tech YouTube space tweeted out, and this is something they do all the time. I have a new video coming out and I need a thumbnail. Here are the assets. I want people to create a thumbnail, and whoever creates the best thumbnail, I will use for the video and I will pay you. And so this is pretty much what they call like artwork contests. And basically you as a creator and somebody who's kind of quite famous in the space are using your clout, your elegance, your finesse as sort of a reel, almost like a bait to get people to use their artistic abilities for free. And not only do you get to choose from a bunch of different artists and a bunch of different artworks, you choose one and you only have to pay for one. And so I've always seen a huge problem with this because, in my opinion, this is artists getting taken advantage of. This is you reaping the benefits of something that you normally wouldn't if you were just a normal everyday person. There's no way that if you were a client that you would get 5 artists to complete work for you and then you just pick one of those and then pay for it. That just doesn't fucking happen. So
I say, if you don't want to do it, then you don't have to do it.
But what if you have to do it?
You know what I mean?
What if that is your lifestyle? That's how you survive, and you're looking to get any work that you can.
I have some answers.
Okay, so
Okay, give some answers.
yeah,
While I
hold
think.
on. So
Yeah.
the last thing that I want to say is that I responded to the tweet saying, isn't it kind of scummy that you're getting people to their time, their effort, their money, they're paying for their subscriptions for the programs that they're using to create this stuff, and then you just select whichever one you like the most and then you pay them. And for the most part, people were in favor. He kind of has like an ass-sucking community where they just stick their nose so far up the creator's ass, like no matter what it is. And he's a little pompous. I like his content, but he's kind of an aggressive, pompous butthead.
Is it the type of community that's like so much about asses that there's an emote that there actually is an ass in the community?
I wouldn't know any community like that.
I mean,
they wouldn't be
that
allowed
would
around
just
these
be-
parts.
Aren't you the ass in your community, Jimmy?
That just
Are you referencing your own community? Because you're the
no,
ass in
no.
yours.
I'm not referencing my community at all. I'm just saying.
So that's my opinion. I want to know, am I fucked up? So Bishy, you said you had some thoughts.
Yeah, so I understand what you're saying as far as the creator using his influence to potentially fish out a bit of work from his community and potentially force people. Well, it requests that people spend their time for nothing in return. I think that as long as you are understanding and you make it clear that it is a competition, I don't think that there's necessary. Like, I understand that there's like a moral issue behind requesting a bunch of people to do work and then not paying all of them and paying some of them. I think that there's a little bit wrong there. As a designer myself, I've been through the ringer when it comes to just wanting to get experience. Wanting to get my name out there is also a big part of it. And I know that I've done, a bit of work here and there that's been free. Some of it hasn't been used. Some of it has been used. But at the end of the day, in the times that, you do work and that you're not selected, you definitely feel a little bit taken advantage of. There's been times where you do get selected and you feel like there's 10 minutes of a moment where you're in the spotlight and you feel great. And then that passes and then you still feel taken advantage of. But I think that it all comes in line with the job itself, right? Designers, we're like, you have to go through some shit to realize how to run your business, right? Because as a designer, you have you can be a great designer, but if you can't run your own business or you can't structure work or contracts or that sort of things, or those sort of things, you're going to end up having failures along the line. So it's a bit of a learning experience. But I like going back to the content creator. I think it is a bit strange, but at the same time, I don't really have a massive problem with it. I have more of a problem if they set it out as like a few weeks ago, Keemstar was like, "Hey, I need a new design for a T-shirt. Someone design it, and I'll pay you $100." And it's like, okay, look, you have plenty of money to pay a professional designer to do this. You're cheaping out on the design that you're potentially going to make $10,000-$15,000 off of selling copies of the shirt. You can probably cough up a little bit more to the winner, right? I find it depends on the context of what it's going to be used for, right? Like if it's a community creating an emote, I totally understand that. But if it's being used as something that is a for-profit product, that's when then the line gets a little bit blurry, and it's, you know, kind of on the end of the creator to make better decisions for the people that are influenced by him.
But you just said that the only reason it's worse off is because the creator has more money to spend.
Right. Okay. So to clarify that, I think that if you are a creator with an opportunity to spend money and to help support someone that is a creator, right? Someone that is designing something for your use, I think that you should always be like, it speaks, I think, to me, to the character of the person that's requesting that when they're not willing to pay for the work of someone else, especially when they're benefiting from the same sort of creative work, maybe in a different avenue. Maybe he's a content creator. He's benefiting from the same sort of input of work, right? Like he knows what it's taken to get to that point, and he's taking advantage of someone that's a content creator creating some sort of art in that same avenue. So he's already succeeded, and now he's making people go through what he already did instead of paying it forward. You understand what I mean? Like if he was making $100 a month off of what he was producing, it's much different than if he's making $30,000-$40,000 selling T-shirts and he's requesting someone to design something for profit.
So I'm just saying, so if I wanted to get a T-shirt made up and I wanted to design for it, if I was expecting to sell like thousands and thousands of shirts, I should pay more for the same design as opposed to if I were only going to sell like 10 shirts or 20 shirts? Like, is that what you're...
Yes, because the context there is that if you have an understanding of what that value is to you, right? As the designer, you're taking advantage of someone if you are requesting that they do work for an undervalue return on investment, right? Now, if you have a product that takes off and you had an agreement prior with the designer where you pay him, you know, a flat rate of $100 for the design, regardless of how many times it's used, then that's one thing. And that's where the designer gets screwed over, and they eventually realize it, right? Like you go through the ringer, you realize that, okay, maybe I need contracts that, you know, equate for these sort of things. But as the creator, you also have to have some sort of understanding of the scope of what that work's going to be used for, right? So, like, for instance, if myself or you, Mom, if we were like, hey, we want a shirt design, like, realistically, we're going to sell how many? Like, maybe 100, maybe 100, maybe 200 at most, right? That we would conceptualize. But for someone that's a bigger creator that realizes the potential of selling a design, it's a little bit scummy, I feel, when you know that you're going to profit, you know, $50,000-$60,000 off of selling a product like someone like Keemstar would. And it becomes a little bit more of a moral issue, I think, on my end, because you're doing the same thing, but you're not. It creates I feel like it creates a negative precedent, and you're at that point you are taking advantage of the designer.
I agree, but isn't it the responsibility of the person designing, you know, whatever, to, I guess, take control of that themselves and negotiate an appropriate price for,
right, 100%.
Or with the content creator?
Yeah, so if it's a competition, it's one thing, because you're doing, like, as a designer, you want to get your product out there as much as possible and get as much experience as possible. And I feel like the best way to learn is to go through and have like an objective for designing something. Like you can work for a company for a reduced rate to be able to get, you know, to produce content within a brand's image, right? Mm-hmm. But I feel, can you reiterate the last part of your point, because I was trying to clear that part of it up.
Oh, it was. Oh gosh, I'm spacing out now.
No, I did the exact same thing.
I guess it was. Shouldn't it be the responsibility of the artist
right.
with the content to be like, no, hey, I know this is gonna make you buco bucks. I want X amount of dollars for this, and then if the artist doesn't feel that it's appropriate price, then just
Right, exactly. So like, yes, the influence of the creator, they realize that they can, their influence does a lot more to convince the designers to work for him, like the scope of how big their audience is. So it is on the content creator or the designer to do that, but there's always people that are willing to undercut that, and maybe that sort of works not for you. Like if this is a competition, like a design competition, most professional designers won't even sign up for that kind of thing because it's not worth their time. And yes, you're right, but at the same time, there's a lot of designers that are not as experienced, and it's like the best way for them to learn is get taken advantage of, but that still doesn't mean that that's the best way.
I agree. It's a little shitty. It's a little
right.
Shitty.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to eat a little shit.
Yeah, you have to eat a little shit, but if you have enough influence and you have the opportunity to pay someone to do work and you appreciate their work, you should pay them for what you believe it's worth to you.
Okay, I see that. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Thanks for re-clarifying. While I was talking, I was like, okay, I'm losing my point, but I'll get it back.
Let's reel you back in.
Yeah.
What do you think,
it's
Jimbo?
all good. It's all good.
I think it's predatory. It's shitty. It's one of those gray area things. I think that says more about the person doing it than it does obviously about the people that you're naturally going to lure in, because you have all different types of people, and there are some people out there that just naturally want to please, and they're going to do free work when they shouldn't, because whether they're a member of the community or they really like the streamer or whatever, they're going to do it, and that individual knows that, and that's kind of a shitty thing. But at the end of the day, it's also one of those things where you have to understand what your own value is and it sucks too, because like whoever ends up getting picked, you're like, oh, that could have been me or whatever. But
exactly,
if it's not you, you just wasted a bunch of your time, for the whatever the whim of whoever that influencer, whoever that person was. And I mean, I think that's sort of a disingenuous type of thing to do, and I would never do something like that. I've had contests before, like where there's been prizes in my own community. Like I'll give you a recent example.
Snake humping song.
Exactly,
yeah,
snake humping song, where I had a contest for. I wasn't asking anyone to design. I just knew if you did it, it was going to be in the music video, and I let the community vote on what their favorite thing was. I didn't pick it, and it was the community that picked the lyrics of that song. And you get the honor of knowing, you got your song into the rap video. But I think that's to your point, Bishop, you were talking about, you have to be very upfront that if it's at a contest or something like that, if the person that did what you're saying, Knackers, it sounds to me like they're just being cheap, and that's what it sounds like to me. They're being cheap. It's nothing illegal. It's just a way to really cut costs and get some shit back your way, because people are going to support you. And it's one of those, in my opinion, if someone doing something like that is probably pretty self-centered, I would imagine. They're like, oh, I can get these people to make this shit for me. And you don't value those other people's time. So that's kind of how I feel about it.
That is what I always come back to. It's like, okay, you know what? Me designing this for myself, my time is worth more than what the ROI on this thumbnail is going to be. So let me pawn this off to somebody else, and then you're putting a number value on their time. So I've read a shit ton of messages, as they've been coming in and listening to you guys. And one of the things that I saw that was another one of my arguments with somebody on Twitter was, that's like saying I expect a refund if my lottery ticket doesn't win. And this is one of the perspectives that somebody has, like, well, if you work in sales, sometimes you just don't get the sale. I'm like, okay. We're talking about two completely different things. Salespeople do not design, create, and sell the product that they are in charge of selling. They are selling somebody else's product. On top of that, salespeople get a base fucking salary, and then they get commission on top of that in most cases. So there isn't, and what I always try to remember in my mind is, there is no part of my job that I do at my 9 to 5 that if the work is completed, I get a chance of being paid. It doesn't fucking exist. This is something that is very much specific to the art world, where all of a sudden it's like, well, if it wasn't really what I wanted, people do shitty jobs at their 9 to 5 all day. You still get paid no matter what.
Yeah.
If you're shitty as fuck, you get fired and then you just go get another job. So I don't like the mindset of, well, you could just not do it. Well, it's like, oh, you're right. You don't have to not do it, but they are using their influence. They are using their kind of position of power to kind of be like, hey, you could get a thumbnail in my YouTube video. And one last question. This is completely going to derail like my previous part, Bishop. Do you believe that a channel's emote is a part of a influencer's likeness?
Okay, so to go back just super quick, and then I'll answer that. So I think that you're 100% right? As a designer, one thing that you eventually learn, like a contractor even, is that you charge for your time, not the product. You never charge for the product, you charge for the time. Unless you are an agency, and then you can say on an invoice, it says logo design, $20,000, right? And then you get to the point where you're charging for the product. But when you're first starting out, you charge for your time, not the product. That way, the person that's hiring you, if you have a very clear amount of time that you suspect it's going to take to produce the product, they know what they're going to get into. And then if they need to make alterations or if they want to cancel the project once they see the first draft, they can do that. They pay you for the time. Everyone is happy because it's time for payout.
Yep.
I think that to reiterate what I was saying initially, the problem, this whole system becomes a problem when, let's say, Jimmy asks his community to make Snake Humpin'. That's not necessarily a problem, right? They're going to write the song, they're going to put it together, whatever elements that Jimmy had them source. But if Jimmy publishes that for the community, they all love it, it's great. But all of a sudden, somewhere in Thailand, they're like, holy shit, this is the greatest music video we've ever seen in our lives. All of a sudden, he has 10 million views, and now he's making
really fucking good.
Yeah,
can I plug it?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm just gonna. No, you keep talking. I'm gonna plug it for those people in chat who haven't seen it.
So it becomes a problem when the creator, like Jimmy, is a relatively small creator. We're all relatively small creators, right? On the grand scheme of things. If Jimmy, right, being a small creator, all of a sudden he takes off with that song, and that is like his brand image now, and he's making $20,000-$30,000 a month off of ad revenue, or $10,000 or $5,000, whatever it is, off of that piece of content that was solely that piece of content. Doesn't have anything to do with the other things that he's doing. It becomes a bit of a problem when he paid the guy $50 to do that, and now he's profiting off of the end product. It becomes a little bit of a murky water, and that's where it's not illegal, right? Jimmy said it wasn't illegal. Like, I 100% agree with him, but it's a little bit when it comes down to the fair side of things, and if you're going to be a piece of shit in your professional life, like there's people out there that take advantage of designers all the time, but there's good people as well that will look at that and be like, you know what, maybe I should send that guy a bonus or give that guy a bonus based on the output of that product because it was higher than what I expected initially.
That was going to be my question. Yeah, like, so what if it takes off and they, like Jimmy had no idea that Snake Humpin' was going to
exactly
big in Thailand.
I knew it was going to be big.
Yeah,
I did.
Billboard Top 100, motherfuckers.
It's fucking good, man. If you haven't seen it yet, it's going to be climbing the top of the charts of YouTube. It's almost at 200 views. Okay, it's been out for like a month.
It's a banger, man. It's a huge. You'll be Selena Gomez and MiddleAgedStream at the
at the VMAs
the music awards. Yeah, VMAs. Yeah. But you don't ever you'll never know how big something's going to be. So that's why in a contract, like you're not going to have a clause when you're first starting out that says, hey, if this ends up being used in the halftime at the Super Bowl, I want a cut of the profit from this, right? And a lot of designers don't have that in any sort of contract. I know I've done maybe hundreds of contracts that are like that while I was coming up, or just agreements, maybe not even signed contracts. But the idea is if the work eventually gets to a point where it's paying off in excessive profit, it's up to the content creator to then reach back out and say, hey, here's a bonus for the work that you did. This was actually amazing and it blew up, and you should get a little bit of recognition through that.
Cheese.
Yeah, a little bit of
They call
paper.
it cheese. That's what they call it.
Oh, really? Okay.
They call it cheddar.
Cheddar. You know what's funny? is that if Knackers, I think he got that confused because he eats cheese out of his fridge, and I think that
Do you have your cheese block?
Cheese?
Do you have your cheese block? Your special?
He takes a block of, for reference, Mom. He has a block of cheese that he grates onto food, and then he has a separate block of cheese that he bites out of with his teeth and then puts back in the fridge.
Yes. Do you know any other humans that do this sort of thing? Michiganders, as you call them?
That is not a Michigan thing.
Okay.
So
That's an Knackers thing.
I don't have
Yeah, we
any
wanted to
blocks of
check.
cheese. However, I have freshly grated Pecorino Romano and Parmesan. And every once in a while, I go into the fridge, open up the container, take a pinch of cheese, drop it in.
That's a new thing, though. That's a new thing. That's
New
normal.
to you.
That's totally
I've been doing that.
Right,
I've been doing
that's
that
totally
forever.
normal. Yeah.
I'll totally take a shot of Parmesan cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
little
shot.
pinch or two.
Yeah.
Hey, I BRB. This is empty.
Do it. Do it.
BRB.
So,
So you were asking Knackers just before I went on that bit of a tangent, whether or not someone's emotes are a part of their brand, right? And I think that emotes specifically are something where I think it's more of a community used item, right? It's something that you should be able to reach out to your community and be like, hey, do you guys want to recommend a bunch of emotes? You guys can go through and, and whatever one gets the most votes can, be published. I think that there's a clear differentiation between something that's sold for profit, right? Like something that you're using for profit, where like people aren't donating to you or subbing to your channel because of your specific emotes, if that makes sense. Some people, maybe.
I think that's a
But it's a
large
blurred
reason
line.
of why some people sub. I know
Do you
plenty
think so?
of, absolutely. I know plenty of people that sub to channels that they don't even watch because of the emotes that they have.
Really?
I just lost my panties emote today.
Oh, I thought that
I don't know
was
if you see the-
Oh.
No, it wasn't mine. It was a glass man cometh, I think. I was gifted a sub.
Oh, shit.
And I lost my panty emote today, and I'm actually seriously considering resubbing to him
So when Jimmy
just
first,
to get my panties back.
when Jimmy first debuted his Rockstar stage, and then you were throwing panties in chat, I was fucking dying because that was so perfect.
I know, I loved it. I loved it.
So
no, those are not my panties.
unlimited digital panties.
Yeah.
So I have one more and for chat, I have loved all of your responses. Thank you for giving me all of your points of view. One of the last ones that I wanted to respond to was Salty saying that it was the same exchange as an internship, where you are unpaid and you're getting in. But again, my stance is an internship does not give you a chance at getting knowledge and experience. You get in what you put, you get what you put into an internship. You're there, you get the time, you get the experience, you get the exposure. With this artwork, you could submit.
There's a trade-off.
10
There's a trade-off no matter what. In any internship, there's a trade-off for time and the output of whatever the person's doing.
Exactly.
Where what's being requested is there's time on one side and no payoff
And there's
for
not
99.9% of the people.
and there's not even a guarantee of that with this type of artwork stuff. And I agree that there is a little bit of leeway, like in Jimmy's perspective, where he just wanted something fun for the community, wasn't paid, it was just featured on the channel, the community got to vote. That's cool. A thumbnail is a massive part of what type of person clicks on your channel, right? Whoever clicks on that YouTube, that's massive. An emote, like when I was asking you about the emote likeness. So I would love for you talked about it a little bit. Do you agree that an emote is a part of a influencer's likeness? Like, influencers get shit on all the time because these random companies grab their videos or clips or thumbnails and they use them in their product placement without any consultation beforehand. Do you agree that you are getting somebody to design an emote for your channel and that emote is becoming a part of your channel? Do you think it's a part of your channel's likeness? And Mom, I would love your opinion as well.
Do you want me to answer this first?
Yeah.
Yes. So I think that it's proven on Twitch that Trihex and all these other different content creators have their likeness used in emotes, and then they become a part of their foundation of what their identity is, right? Across Twitch. I think that I know a lot of people that use emotes as part of their identity, whether they go into a chat, to communicate. It becomes part of the community's ability to communicate. So yes, I think that it's part of the content creator's likeness, but I think it's like comparing it to a thumbnail. A thumbnail is a piece of marketing, right? Like it's a way to obtain views at the end of the day. It's a call to action for people to click on the video to watch it, right? Where I think an emote is a secondary, like it is something that is that people use after entering and after being a part of the community. I don't think that people I think it's rare. I think it's rarer than you think that people go to channels to sub to those just so they can use those emotes, if that makes sense. I feel like people are a part of those channels. They see the emotes being used and then they sub to also be a part of the community, not necessarily. Their sole purpose isn't just to use the emotes. It's to be a part of the community, right? Would you agree with that or no?
I don't think I would.
Yeah.
Really?
I think
Interesting.
when it comes to larger...
You don't agree with that?
I don't, no. I think there are
You don't think people get emotes just because they get caught up in the people spamming emotes and stuff? Like people don't sub for that reason?
No,
Did I miss part of the question?
I am saying that I think it is a lot more split down the middle of people that sub to channels just to have the emotes and people who sub to be a part of the community, especially when it comes to large creators.
But do they sub to the channel to get the emotes so then they can become a part of the community? Because the value in the community the value in the emote is the use by the community, not the intentional use by the creator. Does that make sense? Like the emote itself, it's very rare that there's an emote that has value outside of the community, if that makes sense.
So case in point, when Baby Yoda first came out, emotes galore. And I know so many people that subbed just to capitalize on getting that emote in their reservoir of emotes to use. So I'm not saying it's the only reason, but I think there's a huge percentage of people that are on Twitch that will sub to channels just for emotes. Absolutely.
I don't think it's the main focus.
No.
I think it's less than insignificant, but when you say huge percentage, there's no way we could obviously know this, but I would say maybe 1 out of 10 people who sub would maybe do for that. Right?
I'm going to put that at like 3 or 4.
You think it's that many?
Yeah. I would say it's under 10%. So, and I think
I don't think it's that high, 10%. Dude. I think you're bad at math. Worse than me.
I'm saying it's under 10%.
No, I'm saying Knackers is bad at math.
Right.
Not you.
Right.
No, Knackers.
Jim, were you here when I said I lost my panties?
No.
I lost my panty emote today.
What happened?
Remember the one I was throwing on stage at you?
Well, yeah, what happened?
Barley and the Hops? My sub ran out. It was a gift sub.
Oh, that's sad. That was a good emote.
Are you a part of that community,
actually
or
might
just
be.
like
I might actually resub just to get those back.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Knackers is a genius, secret genius.
I've never
This
actually
is the only time I felt this, though.
I've had gift subs to some channels that I've never been to, and they had some cool emotes, and I thought about just subbing again, not even going to their channel, just but because I like their emotes.
You are proving my point right now.
But I have.
No.
Okay, wait. Time out. I've got the perfect answer for Knackers. So Jimmy probably has, 10, 15 subs? If he subs to one channel that has an emote that he likes and he's subbing to it for the emote purposes, that doesn't mean it's an overwhelming percentage of the subs he has are representative of just one emote. It's a rare occurrence, so I'm right.
Okay,
I'm a genius.
The percentage of channels that they sub to, it doesn't matter if you have 50 channels that you're sub to and only one of them is for the emotes. You are either a person who subs for emotes or you're a person that doesn't. It's binary.
H Christ.
It's no black and white. There's
there's no gray area, but it's still less percentage of the emote or the channels that you're subbing to. It's a smaller percentage that you're subbing to specifically for the emotes than it is for the people you want to be a part of.
Like I said, it's not split down the middle. I would guess that there is probably 30% of people that watch Twitch that sub. I would say 30% of all people who watch Twitch sub to at least one channel for the emotes. Go for it, Mom.
Yeah, go it.
So here's a good analogy or like a scenario that I can come up with. So
I'll
be sitting and watching
an analogy, bro.
I put the anal right in it, or I put it right. Yeah. If I'm in someone like Summit1G's channel or Tim the Tapman, and someone says any eggers in chat, right? That's Ms. Kiff's emote, and then people respond with eggs, his egg emote. Are they doing that because they want the emote, or are they doing that because they want to show that they're a part of the same community?
In that context, yes, they're just showing that they are part of a community.
Right. I think it can be both, right?
Absolutely.
But so it's not black and white. I agree with you, but I think that it's overwhelming that people just want to be a part of the community, unless it's something like my emote that was the unfollow emote on Twitch. People I know have subbed to me just specifically to use that emote because it's more of like a novelty pop culture kind of thing, right? Same thing with the Baby Yoda. Like if I employ something that is simple or that is like a part of pop culture, people will sub to me because of that, but that's separate from, it's still separate and less of a majority of the people that will sub to me, right?
Yeah. So, and the reason that I wanted to get into that is because Weenie's seen this a lot. I've seen this a lot where there are big time creators that go, hey, if you have, we have this emote idea. The emote idea is Snake Humpin'. I want all of you to design a Snake Humpin' emote, and whichever one wins, I will pick. If the emote is dope and the person gets chosen, the creator is reaping all of those benefits of that emote because the people see it, they want to be a part of the community, they want to be in with the cool kids, and they're going to sub, and that to me is kind of the same as if you were to pay for a design on a t-shirt, right? That's just reoccurring revenue that's going to stack. And again, you're playing into the creators or the influencers likeness because it's the same thing. Like, oh, I want to be a person who designed a thumbnail for this person's YouTube channel. I want to be the person that designed this emote for this big streamer.
Included in the community.
It's probably bad to use because I actually made the reference that if you could make a Snake Humping emote in my channel, I'd gladly put it in, and that was done by Space Shark.
But are you paying?
You scammed her.
I scammed her.
I think when it comes to
Scammed
money,
Space Shark.
It makes it a little bit different, but at the same time, it's kind of little. But so, everybody has a different opinion. That's why I wanted to say it.
My final comment on it is that I think that there's a clear differentiation between selling a product that's like a printed T-shirt, where the main attraction to that product is the design, versus a Twitch channel subscription where it's a pay gate to access a series of emotes and the content in supporting the creator, where you also get access to one of the emotes, right? There's a clear differentiation between the two things, but they are still very similar, right? Like, would you buy a T-shirt, an all black T-shirt that said it's just all black, right? Like the shirt I'm wearing, if it was all black. I
don't wear all black T-shirts. I have birds on my shirt.
Birds on your shirt.
Don't call them a bird.
So if you were to pick the shirt that you're wearing right now, Jimmy, versus the exact same shirt without the birds, and the designer that designed the birds, it put time into designing those birds. Which are you selecting and why?
Birds, because birds are better on shirt.
Right, because you want the birds on the shirt, right? Yeah. So you're selecting based on the content of you're selecting based on the content on the shirt and not on the shirt itself. Like Knackers, if Knackers was just wearing a straight up pink shirt versus the shirt he's wearing now, there's someone that put time into designing the texture that's on his shirt.
Where are you
He would
going
choose
with
the shirt he's wearing
Is
over
this
the other
having
one.
a point? Is there like an end point to this? Like, are you making a point right now?
Yes.
Okay.
So the idea is that the product is the design that is being used on the shirt and not the shirt itself. Where Knackers is trying to make a comparison, which I agree with, to the Twitch channel, where you pay for a sub to be able to use the product, to be able to be a part of the community to support the creator, to also be able to use the emotes, which one of them was designed by someone. So the $5 that the person is reaping off of, it's not very clear why the person is subscribing. So it's not like a direct representation, where selling a shirt with a design on it is a clear ripoff if you're not paying the designer.
I have one thing to add on top of that.
Yeah.
Jimmy.
I think that's a lie.
Jimmy, you have your bird shirt, and then you have a collared shirt with no birds. You've gotten 20 compliments on the shirt that has birds and 0 compliments on the shirt that has no birds. Which one are you more inclined to wear? And that's another one of my points, because there is reputation that comes with emotes and using those emotes. And again, I kind of feel like that is playing into the influencer's likeness. Like, yes, I am a part of this community. I have these emotes. And that's why I kind of put it in the same buckets.
No, I agree with you, but it's a variable, right? I agree with you, but it's it's less clear what the person is purchasing for.
Okay.
Right? That's what I mean.
That's fair.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yo, I'm glad that JB popped in right now because he reminded me that if I was a porn star, my porn star name would be Michael J. Fucks.
Ooh.
I just wanted to let you guys know that.
Let's hope you don't specialize in any money shots, or else it'd be quite all over the place.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any final points on that?
I don't know. We've already dropped about 1 million. Does anyone want to add a couple more million?
Yeah, we're doing a giveaway for $10 if anyone wants to design us a Crocs and Hot Pockets logo.
Look, if you guys can come up with a great Crocs and Hot Pockets logo, yes, we're gonna give you. MomGamesHard has offered to provide a slightly used box of floss. Bishop's throwing in some lychee
toenail clippings
and toenail
lychee.
clippings.
Yep.
Okay, Knackers.
The bucket.
$10,000.
The
I'll do
famous
some
bucket.
eyebrow wax strips, like the hair from when I waxed my brows.
Yes.
Is anybody looking for
perfect.
a damaged
I'll, like,
kitchen
save
bucket?
'em.
Wait, what?
Is anybody looking for a damaged kitchen bucket? Great for holding cat food.
Oh yeah.
Great
Yo,
for not holding a
maybe a
person.
crack-
That needs to be. You need a channel command that just says bucket! Exclamation point bucket
you
with a link to
feel?
that.
I'm okay. I can't lift anything still, and sleeping is still kind of a pain in the ass, but it's better. It's better.
Oh man.
So am I fucked up?
No.
Not totally.
Okay.
No, just a little.
Just a little bit. Okay. Yeah, because
It depends on the context, right? Like of what the product is that's being designed. And I think that if it's clear, then the designer should know what they're getting into.
sure.
And if Snake Cuppin takes off in Taiwan, the content creator should pay it forward, to the person that put the most effort in.
Snake humping all day. son.
Summarized.
Oh yeah.
All right, cool. One of the other points that we had, kind of two that kind of blend into
Meld?
each other. Melding pot.
Mesh.
Right? Maybe they're muddling together.
Wow.
Like mint.
So we have two
Did you hear that?
topics. The muddling?
No, I just heard something else. It sounded like a bird.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's good. All right.
It's
all
a-
right.
I
Now
keep,
you're
I
really
keep
part of the
forgetting which
podcast.
one is my bird. I kind of have to wait until you guys go, and then I'm like, okay, mine's just this is the easiest one.
All right, these final two topics are muddled together in a lovely little cocktail, and they both have to do with Twitch music, DMCAs, licensing, and all that stuff. So one of the first announcements was that recently Twitch... here, I found the article. Amazon Music incorporates artists streaming videos on Twitch. So the way that the article was first titled on YouTube, I thought that this was going to be completely separate, and then I read the article and I was made kind of sad. So quick paragraph read. Amazon Music streaming service and streaming platform Twitch have teamed up to allow artists to stream videos live through their Twitch accounts. From this Tuesday, the Amazon Music application incorporates the live streaming of Twitch, and the function is now available on the app for both iOS and Android operating systems. The goal of this new feature is to allow artists to interact with over 55 million users who already have the Amazon Music application. Users will be able to find a live broadcast of their favorite artist through the Amazon Music application, either by receiving automatic artist notifications and follow them when they go live through Twitch or through the new tab of the application called Live. So this was kind of a huge step into tying the music world, muddling the music world and the Twitch world, if you will, and sort of inching towards maybe there's a chance that we're going to get music, like an Amazon Music subscription service on Twitch. And Jimmy and Bishop, we've kind of talked about this in the past before. Mom, how much would you pay a month to be able to play any music on your channel?
$20.
That's what I would pay.
you know, I pay $15 now for Epidemic Sound, and I really like the, you know, I like the music that they have. It's all, you know, copyright free and all that jazz. But
I've never
yeah,
heard
if
of
I
this.
could play anything I want, maybe like $20. I mean, it also depends on like, you know, how much I'm bringing in from the stream itself. If I'm making like buco bucks, then, you know, I'd be willing to pay more.
Would you agree to a scaled subscription service where you would have to pay for as many viewers that you had? So like, let's say it's $20 for less than 100 viewers. Would you pay $40 for 300 viewers?
I don't know. Just because you're getting more viewers doesn't mean you're getting more money.
Right.
You know, so I don't know.
Are you saying
I
that
don't know if I would.
there's a chance that you would get paid depending on the content that you're putting out? I'm trying to make a tie back to our previous conversation, but I failed really miserably.
I'm thinking about this in my mind right now. Yeah.
Right, because like she said, whether you're getting paid or not, 300
Okay.
people are hearing that music. So it's like, well, do I have to pay if I'm not getting the reciprocation of that subscription, right? So it was far-fetched, I'll agree. But yeah, so this
I get you.
this was kind of definitely a good step in the right direction, because the first thing I thought of was anything that was on Amazon Music was going to be able to be played live on Twitch, and they were going to be having like a certain subscription. Do you guys see this as something that's really huge for people that are streaming on Twitch, or do you see this more of, this is something for the musicians and this really has nothing to do with Twitch whatsoever?
I mean, again, it depends on your type of content. I've gotten away from using licensed music on stream for some time now, and I would be willing to pay, but I think this is a way to put more money in the artist's hands, to where you're always going to have people that are just going to play whatever. But I think that there probably would be a large portion of the streaming population, if they were given an opportunity to support their artists in a legal way where they could use their library legally. I think that they would start seeing new revenue streams. I think I think it's a good thing. You know, I mean, I'm all for any ways that you can get money into the artist creating music, and doing that and finding, like, I would love to pay a license fee where I could play certain music every month that I would like to choose from. You know what I mean? But I don't want to do it because there's people that, again, that do it anyway. I used to be guilty of the same thing where I would just do a song request stuff and this and that. And then when I kind of figured out what that was all about, I realized that was not a good thing to do. But if there was any possible way that I could say, like, my favorite band is Third Eye Blind. If there was any way I could pay for a license to play Third Eye Blind.
Really?
On occasion. Yeah, they're my favorite band.
I would have never guessed that.
That's great.
Yeah. Third Eye
Boomer.
Blind. So, but anyway, if there was...
Bishop's
I would-
like Googling, who is Third
Who is
Eye
Third Eye Blind? Yeah. If there was a way I could play Third Eye Blind music when I wanted to, that'd be awesome. I'd totally do that. But right now there's not. So... Yeah, that's,
Really
Yeah,
quick,
that's your
for the audio listeners, the website that Moms was talking about was epidemicsound.com. This is actually a website that I had never heard of before, and I'm always looking for other subscription services that creators can use music for their streams. So you said it's $15 a month for like unlimited?
Yeah, I love it because not only do I use it for like background music when I'm playing games on stream, but you know, I do a lot of the reality type shows with The Sims. So it has all the cheesy music. It has like dramatic stings and sound effects, and it's been absolutely perfect. And
it's fantastic.
I love it.
Like, it's
I love
very
it.
well done. Like they have. I didn't realize that's the service you were using, but I've watched your trailers and the stuff you put together for your channel. It sounds, for those of you who don't know, we didn't spend a lot of time on Mom, and I'm gonna go ahead and mostly blame Knackers, partially blame myself, a little bit blame Bishop since he spent the least amount of time as a co-host, but definitely bad on you. We didn't really
I've
go
also
into the
spent
back.
the most time talking tonight about.
This is true. So
yeah,
I
about
take back
design
my
rights.
apology from you.
Yeah,
So
no apology needed. Thank you.
Yeah. We hadn't talked a whole lot about Mom, and the reason we had her on the show is that Mom just happens to be an awesome streamer. I happened to find MomGamesHard, which I guess technically you found me, but I think it was your name. You came up in chat, and it made me laugh because the name was MomGamesHard, and I think we just kind of bantered from there. And I checked your channel and out one day, and I was blown away with just how from the music to the scene, like just everything was very, very professional. And then I remember asking, I was like, how long have you been streaming on Twitch? And you were like, oh, like a year and a half, not very long at all, relatively speaking. And I was like, okay, I told Knackers too. I was like, here's a future guest on the show for sure. 'Cause and the more, of course, I got to know you, and then the awesome stuff, I've known for a while. Of course, you didn't know that you were going to be on the Nook stream team, and I had no idea. It was the perfect time.
There. It was beautiful. It was amazing. It was amazing.
It was fun to be a part of. It was
probably one of my best moments, at least definitely in the top 5 moments on Twitch for me, definitely.
Yeah. No, I felt the same.
Would have been some really interesting, like, I actually don't know your history previous to maybe 3 weeks ago when Jimmy let us know that he wanted you on the podcast. But what have been some of the things you found out about Twitch that you wouldn't have known if you hadn't streamed yourself, like giving it a go? There's a lot, obviously, but
I guess the biggest thing I didn't realize is that the whole idea of community. Like, I thought when I first started streaming, like, so basically, my husband has been a big time lurker on Twitch for years, and he would watch, like, I don't know, he watches like LSV, he watches like Gabby something or other. They play Magic and Asmongold, and he was watching Asmongold one day, and I was like, what are these people doing? Are they just like giving him money and stuff for playing video games? And he's like, yeah, and I was like, what the fuck? How do I do this? Like, people like to. I'm like, what's going on? But then I didn't realize like how much of a community would be formed. Like, my moderators are like some of my very best friends, not just like on Twitch, but just in real life. I don't know. It's kind of weird to say that, like,
they replace your friends in a certain way. They like become like your daily messaging people.
Yeah, they're like my family, and I love, like, I love streaming. I need my weekends to like recharge, but every Monday when I go back, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna see my buds again. And it's totally not that I was in it to like originally to make buco bucks, but I was curious about it, and I didn't realize how big of a, I guess, like a family Twitch is. At least the nice side of Twitch. I guess it can get pretty toxic.
Yes.
Yeah, if you play Battletoads, chat just turns against you.
Oh my gosh, I will never play.
Yeah, they just turn. Yeah.
No, but
fast.
your introduction to Twitch sounds exactly like when I discovered Twitch. Like, I had no idea what Twitch was. I didn't. And now
no idea.
Yeah, it was years back, but even still, it was a very kind of like, well, I kind of think I could do this sort of thing, and it just kind of grew from there. So, I would like to say from the co-hosts, I know from at least as far as Bishop and myself are concerned, we're really glad to have you on the show, and I wanted to make sure that we expressed that, and
give a shit.
We asked about you because he really didn't, and I wanted to make sure you knew we cared, and we love you, Mom.
So happy. I'm so honored to be here. I'm honored to be here. Oh.
You know what? When I
giving him shit,
when I master this episode's audio, I'm just gonna forget about Jimmy's track. It's gonna be a 3-track audio podcast, and I don't even give
he
a
was
shit
never here.
that the community's not gonna know what's going on because we're all talking to a ghost. And it's worth it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ruin this podcast episode just for.
Yeah, I think a lot of streamers get into streaming and they hyper focus on like creating content, like what I need. Like, do I need lights? I need cameras. How do I work OBS? How do I do all of the, like all the technical aspects? Like, okay, someone wants to donate. When you like first start streaming and you don't have like a donation link, and people are like, hey, can I, like, where do I donate? Or do you have like a donation link? And you're like, oh, no one, I didn't expect anyone to actually want to do that. And there's all that technical stuff. I feel like where people miss out, and a lot of stream coaches miss out on influencing up and coming streamers, is that they don't tell you how important the community aspect is. Of all things, the community aspect is the most important thing on Twitch. And a lot of people become successful on Twitch based on their community connection. I know that a lot of people in the Nook are like Space Shark, great community person. Casey, not in the Nook, but great community person. Like Casey's stream took off because of the fact that she's way more of a community oriented person than I am. And obviously great content creator. But I feel like if more people understood that coming into Twitch, I feel like more people would have better results coming out of Twitch. How cool the community element is. And if you just treat people well, you might end up with like your new best group of best friends. Like I don't even talk to people that I, besides like one or two of my good buddies, but like I don't really talk to people from outside of Twitch. I met my girlfriend through Twitch. And it's interesting because like that it starts to consume you, like the community element like takes over, and you just get to be like a new version of yourself. So that's kind of cool.
This has honestly been one of the most fulfilling things. I've said this on my stream before. One of the most fulfilling ventures I've ever taken on in my life. And I can't imagine ever not streaming.
Yes.
You know,
I feel that way 100%. And I know you do. Yeah.
So
it just feels so good. Like I don't know how to explain it, but just
what you just said is like when I've mentioned this on the podcast a couple times where like I ask my mom, like, don't you like if you had this opportunity growing up to meet up with hundreds of other people who also loved reading magazines and pottery, like whatever my mom loves to do, like don't like, because when I ask my parents about like what they did growing up, it's like, oh, we just hung out with the people who were around us. I'm like, okay, so like when I think about all of the people that I grew up around, and if we were to do like what's that website where you can trace your heritage?
FarmersOnly.com.
Ancestry.com.
Farmers Only.
So
like if you could,
Isn't it not?
It's close.
John Beer,
dude. If you could take your 10 local friends, how many of your 10 local friends would you say have the same hobbies as you? Like if you were to put on a like scale from 0 to 10, how many of your friends actually have the same hobbies and passions and loves that you do?
0.
Bishy?
My friends, I try to talk to them about Twitch and they're just like,
yeah,
glass.
It's hard.
Glassed
my
over.
My parents are like, how's that podcast internet thing you're doing going? And then I'm like, oh, it's going good.
It's great.
Trying to explain Twitch to people who don't have no idea anything about Twitch is very difficult.
Yep. So like now I can say I have like 10 really, really good friends who are our hobbies and our passions all are like super, super lined up. It's like the internet has given us this amazing opportunity to link up with people all over the world where we would never have a chance to do in the past. So like when I think about my parents growing up and their friends only being limited to the people that lived within 20 miles, that depresses the fuck out of me because it's like they just because of the time that they were born, they missed out on this massive, massive opportunity. And then like, how do you convince your 50 or 60-year-old mom to get on Twitch, right? And to go get out and find your people out there in the internet. They would get torn the fuck apart. Are you kidding me? All it takes is one dick pic for my mom to be like, I'm out. Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah.
One penis?
There's too many on Twitter. I'm not even looking for them. And dicks just popping up everywhere.
Popping up. So I'm ecstatic to hear you say something like that because to hear somebody, I want to say somebody of your age to make you seem like you're so much older than we are, but to hear that there are people that are still finding this later in life. Oh, she's gone.
She's
Well,
gone.
there goes our request for a repeat visit to the podcast. Good job, dude.
It's been
Good job,
granted.
Knackers. No, we can make him feel
Don't
bad.
worry, I'm only here to
I'm
bring
a boomer on Twitch. I'm 38, and that's kind of boomer age.
Wait, Jimmy, you're 38 too, right?
It is.
I'm 39.
Oh, okay.
You've aged
Shut up,
much
you
better
son
than
of a-
Jimmy, if that is.
You have exceedingly.
Jimmy looks like, whoa, he's old.
Yeah, I definitely look at you. Don't. You don't.
Did you ever have you guys ever had like gone like on a summer camp or met like a second group of friends or like friends of friends or gone to a movie or whatever and met another group of people, and then all of a sudden you meet someone with similar interests to you and you're like, holy fuck, wait, you like video games? Like, wait, you play World of Warcraft? And it's like this revelation. You're like, holy fuck, like this person likes everything that I like. Let's be best friends. And you get overexcited. And in like Twitch nowadays, if you stream, like I've been streaming Banjo-Tooie, and there's a bunch of people that love that game that are coming into chat, and it's like that experience over and over and over again. But I remember that being a kid, I think I was at summer camp, and this other kid was like, oh yeah, I play WoW. And I was like, oh, are you like a casual player? And he's like, no.
I was an adult when WoW came out.
Me too.
I had no responsibilities and still have no responsibilities because of WoW.
You don't even make your own cocktails.
When Jimmy talked about losing his life to The Sims, that was like me and WoW. Luckily, I had no children, but I played with people who had multiple children. I don't know how they did it. They must have been like completely ignored or something, but WoW's a big time suck.
For you, Mom, would you, knowing you've experienced both types of social interaction, you've experienced the online community social and then the in-person social, would you trade any of the time that you spent in WoW or in online communities for more of the traditional social experience?
No, because there gets to a point where it's not just like online friends. Everyone's just a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Like,
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I just, like, I consider the people who I am like really good friends with on Twitch just my friends.
Yes.
They live far away, they'll live in other states, but they're my friends.
True. It's interesting when your previous friends, before you start getting into things like WoW or streaming, your previous friends get replaced very quickly because you realize that you're like, oh, I really don't like that person. They're close to me. Like,
Yes.
that's kind of a piece of shit, actually. Let me.
I do like, I have a group of 5. There's a group of 5 of us. I think there's 5. There's a group of 5 of us that hang out, and they are good friends, like local friends of mine, and we'll meet up for like a mom's night out and we'll like drink on the porch and whatnot. But I don't feel like I have as much in common with them as I do, I guess, my Twitch friends, other than being moms and our kids knowing each other. But I still value their friendships as much, but
Sure.
my Twitch friendships just seem closer, I guess.
Can I say something?
No.
No,
No.
you're done.
Dude, Mom, you fit right in. She fucking...
Yeah.
She
I-
got
Get him
it.
out of here. Replace
You
Jimmy.
set it up.
Replace Jimmy.
Look, I gave you a ball to just spike down over the net, and I'm glad you took that opportunity.
Fucking torsion of the testicle.
But I'm gonna say it anyway. I could
right,
be
moving
wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, I think MomGamesHard might be the first actual mom we've had on the podcast.
Ooh.
Unless
I think you've had another one that maybe later became a mom, but not one that was a mom on the podcast.
I am currently a mother.
I'm thinking of Liz. I think you had her, but she wasn't a mom yet.
Correct.
You're the only mom that's ever been a part of the Crocs and Hot Pockets podcast. Give her some round of applause.
Legit.
Crocs, moms, and podcasts.
Yes.
Come on.
Very nice.
Oh, I don't want to see what that looked like.
Oh no, someone's gonna clip it. Don't worry.
Yeah, they're gonna mash that together with me. What was it called? Muddling. Yeah.
Muddling. You muddling and mom gamoing. Perfect.
Yeah, that's not good.
One of the final parts, kind of a secondary part to the Twitch and the Amazon Music announcement, was Twitch shutting down Twitch Sings. So Twitch Sings was basically a virtual karaoke. All of the music was paid for by Twitch, so all the licensing was taken care of. You were free of DMCAs only on the Twitch platform. I don't know if those carried over to YouTube. I highly doubt that they did. And they are actually going to be shutting that down in 2021. And the real only reason that I wanted to bring up this article was I wanted to extend sort of a warning or sort of like a heads up to people out there that are creators or that are aspiring to be creators. Bishop just went to gaming mode.
Monka ass. Yeah, I heard.
Did you just launch
alerts
World of Warcraft right there?
No. I just.
Yeah, you were totally launching a game.
I heard alerts going off my headset. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" But I remembered I had OBS
Knacker
open.
started talking, and he's just like,
Game
"I'm
mode.
gonna play a game."
Yep. Wait,
Yeah.
are you
I'm
saying
okay.
you're getting followers for being on this pod percentage, dude? Yo, let me get
Yeah.
that commission.
Let me. I don't know who it was. Should we do like shout outs?
Go. No. That's more money.
Okay.
That costs more.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll split the revenue for a follower.
Yeah, dude.
I got you. I was like, what the hell is that sound? I just heard like an explosion in my headset. But I realized I have OBS open so I can do this and blur my camera.
There you go. Be
But,
right
yeah.
back.
Be right
The
back.
main reason that I wanted to highlight this was to illuminate an issue that I've seen a lot of people fall into, and it's an unfortunate one, but it is a real one. People that really got into Twitch sings, people that are heavily into music on Twitch or where music is a massive part of their channel. When you base the majority of your content off of content that you do not own. So let's say you have like a DJ stream on Twitch, or you run a radio show where people donate and then they can choose a song and they play it, or you are running a karaoke where you are just singing other people's music. We are still very much in the Wild West of Twitch. People think that the Wild West of Twitch is over, but when it comes to media licensing, DMCAs, rights of ownership, it is all still very much a gray area. And so I just wanted to extend a heads up to people out there. If a major part of your content is content that you do not own, if you are using songs for alerts, if you are playing
Gordon
YouTube
Ramsay.
videos, if you're watching Gordon Ramsay on stream, if you're doing React videos, the majority of your content is based off of content that you do not own. And not only could your content cease to exist when they start enforcing, your channel could get banned. Like you could just get outright banned for using content that isn't yours. And it really sucks because I know, like, I try to put myself in a singer's shoes. I'm a singer on Twitch. I love music. Music is my passion. Twitch releases this official platform where I'm allowed to karaoke live, and I'm able to bring in guests and do duets with them. And then you're like, well, this is just going to be like the majority of my content. And then all of a sudden, Twitch is like, well, that was really expensive. We better just not do that anymore. You got to think about the long-term effects of the content that you choose. And it sucks to say that because I've never been in a position where I've had to completely like shift my content because of a huge change like this. Have any of you guys ever had like a big shift in your content because of either a licensing change or a policy change or anything like that?
Not
No.
because of a licensing or policy change. Well, to a degree, yes. So the only thing I could really make an argument to, when I first started streaming on Twitch, and I've always had like a BRB screen, and what I used to do was I used to curate these videos together and make like, I had like some 5-minute ones and some 10-minute ones, right? And I would curate like different YouTube videos. And it was like a amalgamation of like old commercials and like Star Wars related YouTube vibs and other shit. But then when I realized, I think it got muted in a VOD one time, and it like my brain alerted me one time. I was like, I probably shouldn't be playing, even if it's nothing that I'm probably worried about getting DMCA'd for. I need to find something that I'm not going to worry about getting my VODs muted when I'm taking a break, right? So that's what was kind of what spurred me to just going with these commercials that are 30 to 40 years old and showing those. And I don't have to worry about any sort of copyright claims or anything stuff for, that sort of stuff. So
Imagine Jimmy gets sued for showing a commercial to his audience.
I have to say, your commercials are part of the reason. I mean, not only, the awesome beer, but the commercials, they just provide so much nostalgia for like boomers like
right.
like us. So in a way, like, it was a good, I feel like it was a good move for you.
It was one where it was literally making a YouTube playlist, and that's as much. I don't have to do any video editing or anything. And then the other thing too, I've never had this before. The only time I ever check my viewership is when I take a break and at the end of the stream when I'm about to raid someone else. That's it. That's the only time I ever see what my viewership is.
Same.
And it blows my mind when I go on break, I'll pull my stream up my phone, I'll go get a beer, use the bathroom, whatever, and I'll look down, and I'll see by the time I'm coming back from my break, I have a higher viewership than when I let go on break.
You definitely retain and get more viewers.
I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I mean, people are watching old commercials from the 80s, and I'm drawing people in. And
Your BRBs
weird.
just like tug at all the heartstrings. All the heartstrings. There's like some pony one. I'm like, God, I wanted that fucking pony. And, you know.
So I have to ask, is there any chance that you could get DMCA'd for that content?
No. This would fall under, and I happen to know because when it's for commercialization, this totally falls into fair rights usage. Now, if I was dumb and if there was a commercial on there that had some music from an artist that could, then yes, it's possible. But usually for commercials, they're way too short for them to even get that flagged. And there's audio that's going over it, so it's not going to go through their meter. So, but no, I don't have to worry about 30 to 40-year-old commercials getting flagged for that content.
Okay.
I think that the most interesting part about this whole conversation, Knackers and everyone else, is that content in general, right? Like if you're reacting to content, what is the biggest difference between reacting to, say, a YouTube video or having music accompany your content, right? Like if I'm playing a video game and I have music playing in the background, it is clear that the music is providing a elevated environment for the viewer than if I were to not have that content. But what's interesting is we're talking about a platform that is profiting off of reusing content where the producers playing the video games that they don't own. We have a single license as players when we buy a game to play a game for ourselves. We don't have any rights to redistribute that content. But the difference between the gaming and the music industry is that the gaming industry is smart enough to realize that they can benefit off of having content creators playing their game, influencing people to play them. Where like the music industry is still in the Stone Age and they're like, oh, people are playing music, let's DMCA them and take all the ad revenue. Jokes on them. We have none.
Right.
But what's interesting is like what happens if Activision's like, hey, fuck you, Twitch. We're going to start our own platform. And now you can't play Call of Duty unless you're playing on Activision TV. Because that very well could happen as well, because they do own the rights for that content. Or if they say, or if Bethesda comes out and says, hey, we're going to release Fallout 77, and last time it was a shit show when it came to the reviews, so we're just going to only allow people, we're going to license the people to review it that we know, and we'll greenlight them, and then other people can't stream it. They also have the potential possibility to do that. So that's a kind of a weird, because we're talking about like content, like content ownership. If you're playing music, if you're playing videos, watching YouTube videos, it's all like, okay, well, it's not part of your main piece of content. You're reacting to it. You don't own that content. But at the same time, Twitch is exactly that. We're playing games that we don't own. Like we own a license to play them, but we're redistributing it for profit at the end of the day. So there's kind of like, it's obviously like that's not going to, hopefully doesn't happen. But it's funny because we're in like this, like we're standing next to Mount Vesuvius of this DMCA claim with music, but everything on Twitch is, it's us reacting or playing or engaging in content, or, finding ways like Mom does, where she goes and gets a bunch of players in her game within The Sims, and then she has them go and orchestrate something that's more of like a storyline. But it is like this big, massive us reacting. That's what Twitch is. It's this big us facing up against this big DMCA takedown that could take the whole platform from underneath us. And it's like which piece of the puzzle falls first. And obviously music, they've already started to do that. Shout out UMG. They still haven't figured it out since YouTube days, where they DMCA everyone for even mentioning Bohemian Rhapsody, but they can't figure out how to, like, it's 2020, right? Like, figure out how to monetize your shit. Like, selling CDs is a thing of the past. And I think that the gaming industry has been, I think they've realized that streaming is better, or streaming and YouTube videos are better to sell copies of their game than to prevent us from, creating content around games.
So you brought up a really good point, and it actually kind of ties into M. Johnson's question, and we're just going to segue right into the Q&A with this as well. So technically, you and Bishop highlighted this. When you buy a game, you are buying a single license to play that game. And there's now this little bit of a gray area where we are now streaming video games. And again, Bishop is correct. If any company just wanted to say, no more streaming our game. And this actually has happened with a couple titles, especially when it comes to when games first come out. They only allow certain people to stream it, and then people who don't abide by that get DMCA'd. There's a gray area right now where everybody is profiting off of this. But again, like Bishop said, the gaming companies know that XQC playing their game in front of 40,000 people is much more profitable for them as a company instead of saying, XQC, you can't stream our game. We only want you to experience our game. But there's an even grayer area now because Steam now has family sharing where you can buy a single license of a game and you can share it. Is there a limit to only?
I think it's 5. I think it's 5, but I could be wrong.
But you can't play it at the same time.
Right.
Mhm.
But you're still only paying for it once.
Right.
No.
Right. So it comes down to, I mean, it's this big.
Please don't ever do that with your finger again.
It's like a massive, like I said, the analogy of Mount Vesuvius. It's like there's this massive problem, right, that's in front of us. But it seems like we're just kind of going around it and we're hoping that the mountain doesn't explode. But I think, just like I said, gamers have figured, or the gaming industries have figured this out and figured out, hey, maybe 10 years ago, when whoever on YouTube was playing our game, all of a sudden we got 10,000 purchases of the game, right? That's good for us. Wow, this is amazing. I mean, we talked about Fall Guys 2 weeks ago and said Fall Guys wouldn't even be a thing without Twitch or without YouTube, right? Like, people wouldn't know about these these smaller creators. So it's like, I feel like, and this is going back also to the music part of it, like with Amazon Music, there's a huge opportunity for these different content owners, right? Music, if it's UMG, if they're like, hey, holy fuck, okay, 40,000 people are watching the stream, and he starts playing a song, and oh wow, they love that song. I want to add that to my playlist, and the best way to do that is to sign in with your UMG account or your Spotify account. And all of a sudden you're paying a subscription, which is then paying the original producer of the music. There's a way to monetize that. But I feel like music is so far in the past that they haven't figured it out, where now, people aren't going to movie theaters as much as they used to, right? And the big box office, content producers have figured that out. I feel like now it's the first time in history where these other massive conglomerates now have to look at gaming to be like, okay, hey, how are you actually starting to monetize content when it's being shared across, uncontrollably across all these different platforms? I mean, UFC, every single time there's a weekend, on DLive and on Twitch and everywhere, their content's being reproduced. So they have to find a way to monetize that so they're not just completely losing money. But realistically, like, if the movie industry and the music industry can figure that out and how to utilize these platforms, these social engagements, they will be successful. I feel like the problem is when they want to prevent us from being able to do that.
We get angry.
They basically fail. Yeah, and then we get angry and we're mad at them.
All right, let's get into the Q&A. We're going to fire through these.
Do it.
Do it.
Maggie was taken. What are your thoughts on the controversy around How Are You? Lol. I don't know if this was aimed. Context, Fleeksky on Twitter. Fleeksy on Twitter. Does anybody know what this means?
What was it again?
The question was, what are your thoughts on the controversy around How Are You?
I have no idea what that's for dealing with.
I don't need. I thought this was maybe a MomGamesHard follower, but no idea.
No idea. Sorry.
All right. Next question. From MiddleAgedStream, Mom, what would you do if you found a penguin in your freezer?
Wait, Jibbles, you asking me that?
Hold on. Hey, Jimbles, you asking that?
You're such a butt.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. If I found a penguin in my freezer, I would probably slam the door really fast and call DadGamesHard to come take care of it.
Do you not like penguins?
Oh, you don't like penguins?
Not
I'd
in
eat
my
the shit out of
freezer.
that
That's
thing.
where I
It's
keep my
probably
frozen
delicious.
pizzas and stuff.
I would be like, what are you doing in the freezer, penguin? Come here. Let's be friends.
He's not moving. He's frozen.
Yeah, he's frozen. You just eat him.
No, he can. He's alive. He's a living
Oh,
penguin.
I just assumed he'd be dead.
No.
I don't deal with dead.
No. He
birds.
wasn't dead. He was alive. I should have stipulated. It's a live penguin. You open your freezer. There's a live penguin in your freezer. Now what?
I would ask him to race down a giant ice slide.
That'd be cool.
I would probably still do the same thing. Scream and slam the door and get Dad Games Hard.
Discord cut
If
out
he
for you
wasn't
there,
dead,
Jimmy.
I would kill him and then cook him and eat him.
Oh, I'm
You're like,
Yeah, wouldn't it be interesting to try penguin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find
See?
it weird
Gotta
that
try
we're
things
okay
once,
killing
man.
some animals, but not other animals for food, right?
you would have eaten one of those porgs from Star Wars, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. Have you seen the milk that comes out of those? Oh no, that wasn't the porgs
No,
that
that
came
ain't
out
the
of
porgs.
That was the lapras.
The who?
Yeah.
That's not milk.
You sure? Next question, also from Jimmy Bishop. On a scale from 1 to 10, how much more awesome is Casey than you?
This is a loaded question.
Quite muddled.
I think if I was going to realistically assess this question, I would start by looking at how many things she's proficient at versus how many I'm proficient at, and I think she overwhelmingly destroys me at 99% of things. But the 1%. So 10.
All right, 10.
So 1 out of 10?
Okay.
Oh, 10 out of 10.
10.
You're saying.
Yeah.
You're the 1 out of 10.
I am the one. I'm the 0.001.
Yes.
I will say though, I don't know about you guys, but I re-listen to every podcast episode, and first of all, I find them fucking hilarious. So hard clap to us because we're great. Second of all,
We're so good. I love this podcast.
I re-listen.
I'm so funny.
I am literally, we are the best. Actually, Mom, I don't know if you realize we're the best podcast, and you should feel amazing.
This
for
is
being
the
on this
best
podcast.
podcast I have ever been on.
Thank you. Like if you go to the
Nice.
Just Chatting
How
section,
many podcasts have you been on?
you only have to scroll like
No,
10
no.
times.
Don't answer that. Don't answer that.
Okay,
Just write a review.
audio
Literally
listeners?
the best podcast
She
I've
said.
ever been on.
Best podcast.
Best podcast for moms.
I re-listened
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
episode.
This was a very mom-friendly podcast.
Was it really?
Good.
I don't know.
Yes.
I feel comfortable.
Yeah, we
I don't know
didn't
that-
have any
that-
hard-hitting questions.
All right.
Just
That
hanging out.
penguin question was like a little weird, but I'm like
Oh.
rolling through and rolling through.
Cruising.
Got to keep you on your toes.
Yeah.
Jimmy's like on the phone. He's like, cancel the delivery. Don't deliver the penguin. This
Was
is
it
not
not?
good.
I re-listened to the episode where Bishop reenacted his acting role of handyman on the Emoji Movie. Do either of you guys remember that? I fucking died at that segment. It wasn't funny, but I fucking died laughing just re-listening to
It's
it
the
again.
commitment. It's the commitment.
Yes.
You were committed.
Next
You
question.
should be committed.
Mentally. Yeah, exactly.
From Big Ben. MiddleAgedStream, will you do some Twitch sings?
I'm going to
Ooh.
actually before the year's up because it was I have a few songs that have been when I did the fundraiser back in July. I'm gonna do a Twitch sings before it's shut down. Yes.
We
To
gotta
answer your
do
question,
some
yes.
duets.
Yeah, see, I don't even know how that worked. I downloaded the software and was trying to figure it out, and it was like, I don't fucking know.
I'll
just come
DM you.
back
I'll
to it
DM
later.
you.
It's
Okay,
too
okay.
futuristic. Yeah.
It is. I need a mom to break it down and explain it to me so that I can understand. So thankfully, I have a friend on Twitch who's a mom.
There you go. Next question. On a topic about creating content using assets, this is the M. Johnson question. Is there any other perspective?
Question?
Stop it. Bullet penetration. Is there any other perspective that anybody can offer on the streamers playing video games that they technically don't own conversation? I think we went over it pretty heartily.
Thoroughly.
We penetrated that question.
Penetrated deeply. Last question from Peeps Champ. Jimmy, how are you allowed around his school with a mustache like that?
I actually I know this may sound crazy, and I think part of it, maybe it's because the kids don't see it normally, but I've been sporting a mustache now for some time, and when I shaved it off, like I did shave it off like last year around like December, and I had so many kids that came up to me and were like, could you please grow your mustache back? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they think it's weird with me to not have a mustache now. So I mean, I feel like I can sport the lip caterpillar, man. I feel like it works for me. It doesn't work for everyone, but I feel like it works for me.
You shaved your mustache, and then all of a sudden, COVID happened. Related? Maybe that's a Dr. Disrespect take.
I need to put my shades back on for that.
Oh, there you go.
I'm gonna leave my humble pants at the door and say that you're all welcome for bringing the mustache normality to Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
I try. I'm saying, like, if you guys ever have me back and you do those little tweets again, I need some mustachio on it. I felt a little left out.
I made that image on stream, and when I
Why was I sleeping, by the way, Knackers? In the picture, I was fucking sleeping.
Luck of the draw. When I decided that I wanted everybody's picture to just be their fucking face, I was like, this is the new thing I have to do. It's only face for the remainder of Twitter. So what I do for those thumbnails is I load up a previous podcast and I just scrub through it, paused, and I just click through the timeline. And when I find a face that I like, I screen cap it and I paste it into Photoshop. And you had the sleeping, meditating face. It looked perfect. I was like, yep, that's it. I got to do it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. Of all the faces I've made, me sleeping was the one that you were most attracted to.
It's a good look for
It's
you.
a little creepy.
Yeah, a little creepy.
I like my men when they sleep. Okay. Well, motherfuckers, that is the end of the Q&A, and that is also the end of the podcast. So what we're going to do is go around the room. Everybody's going to announce who they are, where you can find them online, and what kind of content they have coming out on the internet in the near future. So Bishop, we'll start with you, then Jimmy will go, and then Mom, it'll be all up to you.
All right, BishopGP on Twitch. You can watch me play Banjo-Tooie and some racing stuff, maybe later this week. And then if you want to hit me up on Twitter, it's Bishop Was Here.
That was good.
Yeah, it was
Two
quick.
claps. My name is Jimmy, aka MiddleAgedStream. You can find me on Twitch and Instagram at MiddleAgedStream, MiddleAgedStream on Twitter, because fuck character limits. I will be playing Castlevania probably for the next stream or two at least on NES. I've got some more cool retro titles lined up, and I've got a couple surprises in store. I'm not ready to reveal them just yet, but I've got some stuff to reveal by the end of this month. Maybe next podcast you should tune in, and maybe I'll be able to share some things. Maybe that'll get like one or two of you to come back and listen to it again. Maybe we'll see.
Your head moves significantly less when you have glasses on. Like when you talk with your glasses on, your head or neck does not move at all. You are completely stiff. Did anybody else notice this?
I was trying to assert dominance with my glasses on and stare directly at you guys, though maybe that's why.
Little did you know those frames are made of pure lead and it weighs like 20 pounds, so it's just his neck muscles are locking up.
I'm like,
Hold it up. I'm MomGamesHard on Twitch. I'll be back on Tuesday, and we're going to be doing, we're going to be checking out the new Sims game pack that's coming out, the Star Wars Journey to Batuu. So I'm excited to check that out. I'm also MomGamesHard on Twitter and Instagram. So check me out there.
Check her out.
No character limits.
No character limits on that.
Yeah,
and
no
I
issue
really
there.
appreciate you guys having me. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We hadn't had somebody new on the show for quite some time, and when I reached out to Jimmy and Bishop, Jimmy's like, "I got the perfect person. I already know who I'm going to choose."
Aww.
And then here you are.
Thank you, Jimmy.
it was true, and we will be glad to have you back. I know after being up late on a Sunday night, it's probably going to take you a few months to recover, being a mom and all, but let us know. You let us know when you're ready. We'll get you back.
Can I just say, I really appreciate how much time and effort that Mom put into creating her username that wouldn't be obstructed by character limits. I just want to say that hats off to you for that brain power that is severely lacking on the side of MiddleAgedStream.
I just wanted to pick something weird that people would click on.
There you go.
How do you feel about
Weirder than a
two-factor
MomGamesHard,
authentication?
right?
Yeah. Oh, that's a great question.
Sounds way cooler than Knackers.
Okay, here. Do you use two-factor authentication?
Yes.
Okay. Do you use a password manager?
No.
Oh.
What's that?
Is it a notepad and you put all your passwords in like the little notes app and iPhone?
No, my password's just in here. And then if I forget it in here, then I just reset password.
Knackers almost felt like he found a replacement for Jimmy on the
so
podcast.
close.
No,
So
I
close.
do. Okay.
Ah.
Actually, I'm not going to talk about if or where I keep my passwords anywhere.
Okay. I literally
Yeah.
Because that's secret.
It rhymes with
gilf.
I was gonna say mutt stuff because butt stuff, but then
Got it.
I don't
everyone-
put butt
everyone-
stuff in my passwords.
You
Wait, what are you
don't
talking about?
you don't put any like naughty words in your passwords at all?
No, they're totally just random. Oh wait, maybe I do. I put lots of naughty words. See, you're gonna make me like give away my
you're giving it
password.
away.
Like,
Now we'll never know.
I've already
password
got it
thing is-
now. I know.
What is
I'll
your
contact
password,
you right
Mom?
after this podcast.
honey, we got to change the bank account password.
To our
What-
final question, what is your password? Can we just have it?
Yeah.
It is.
Why isn't
Fuck
your
off.
bank
No, I'm
pin 6969?
It is 69 all the time. Woo woo.
Mhm.
Bishop,
My password is MiddleAgedStream is my favorite streamer because no one would ever guess it.
Oh, bird.
oh, bird shirt man, how sad. Oh, he's out of here. Bishop's
Oh, he's
fucking outta
pussing
here.
out.
That's right. Walk away, you son of a.
My name is Knackers. You guys can find me on this very Twitch channel. I am on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Knackers with 3 A's. I pretty much only stream on the weekends currently, just because of work schedule being a huge pain in the ass. But if you guys enjoy the podcast, you guys can get back here next week. Actually, next week we are having one of my favorite people ever. Reanimator is going to be on the podcast next week. She is one of the producers for that new Twitch TV show Ven, and I am looking to get all of those dirty details about all of that show, everything coming up. And Reanimator is just a super, super interesting person. I'm excited to have her on. So that will be next Sunday. And then in 2 Sundays, this the group show minus Mom. I'm so sorry, Mom. We'll be back in 2 weeks. And of course, at 9 p.m.
No moms
Eastern
allowed.
Standard Time. No moms! Dads only. Thank you guys so very much for checking out this episode of the podcast. Audio listeners, you guys are the best. Thank you for checking us out. And we're going to rate a channel. So if you guys want to stick around to rate another channel, that would be awesome. But otherwise,
Raise their booties.
yeah, throw their panties. You know what I'm saying? Woo! All right, you guys all have a good night. Goodbye!
Bye.
Big creamy pogs, dude. That's a certified creamy. All right, see you guys later.
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 Will this scene work? Oh, my fucking GoPro. The GoPro's off. Thank you very much for checking out this episode of the Crocs and Hot Pockets podcast. If you would like to catch the show live, it airs on Twitch on my channel at twitch.tv/knackers at 9 p.m. every single Sunday. If you would like to check out the most recent episode of the podcast, you can probably click this little box here. And if you feel like checking out some of our highlights, you can maybe click this little box down here. And maybe I'll even put a little thing for you to click right here. No? Bye.